Hello, hello, hello. This is HQ in the house. I'm being real quiet today. Real quiet. Because I was bored today. And I was like, you know what? I'd do a review. Felt like doing a review. I just been putting out content and just not really doing a live every once in a while here and there. But you know, I'm a night owl, right? So I'm a night owl. So I would be out here, obviously, I would be out here on these YouTube streets. I just am not doing any kind of panels and things like that. So you know what? I said I ran across this video. I was trying to look for the video that said, you know, it was talking about black women. But I ran into this one. Okay. This one related to Jeannie Ma and Jeezy. And I didn't realize that he knew that they had gotten together. I thought he had died before, right when they got together or something to that effect. But I wasn't sure because I don't know when he died. I don't know the day or date or whatever. So I ran across this video. I was like, you know what? I'm going to review this to see if what he said in the video about Jeannie Ma and Jeezy and them being together and them being married, was it true? Was it accurate? Okay, something that we could actually put your teeth into, something you could actually think about and say, hey, was he accurate when he was talking about Jeannie Ma and Jeezy? I mean, because I think they only were married for like less than a year, maybe a year. So what the hell happened? Was any of his predictions true? Was anything that he said true regarding this power couple, right? So I guess he was there from the beginning. So I haven't seen this video. I don't know anything about this video. So I will be watching it with you. Not the whole thing, but the gist of the video, right? The gist of the Jeannie Ma and Jeezy content. So let's get into it. This is the beginning of the show. I don't know how long it was, but let's get into the beginning of the show because I'm watching this as you all are watching. No, well, you guys watched it before, but I'm saying this is my first time seeing this video. So let's get into it.
Welcome to the end of the week. Godfather doing the damn thing and saying, I need therapy. Oh, man. Okay, let me go ahead and help you. Bye. Say goodbye to the white knights and the crybabies. You can go on over back and get you a kitty meal back in the kitty section. Go on back to your mammy's house because this is for adults only. We don't deal with little boys.
Okay.
And they fifis. So, here we go. You guys see the title of the show. Let's get on into it.
Let's get on into it.
I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, you know what's going on right now. On the TV show, The Real. Jeannie Ma, a Asian woman who's engaged to rapper Young Jeezy, has stirred up a hornet's nest of controversy by just simply saying something that, well, what am I talking about? I tell you what, let her say it yourself. But here's how we're going to do this, guys. Before we get into it, I'm going to need you guys to keep the engagement up over 50%. Likes, dislikes, it don't matter. Just get them up because if you don't we're going to end up having the intermission song, and the intermission song sounds like this.
Intermission song?
And if you don't want me to come through playing that song loud, I'm going to need you to get them up.
Intermission
you
song?
would not think it would be such a controversial thing for a woman to say, I want to, submit or something like that to my husband. But apparently today it's a problem. Let me see something before we get into it.
So Jeannie Ma was talking about submission. People will click that. Jeannie Ma was talking about the submission. What at that weird ass music? I was like, what the fuck is that? So she was talking about the weird ass music. I mean, weird ass. She was talking about submission. Even back then, she was talking about submission. He's gonna play the video, right, or something. Well, let's finish. Let me see, because I don't think I seen that either.
Again, even though it's thank you. Even though it's a competition, don't miss out on the best. Moving on.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get on into it.
Okay.
Fair use.
This is fair use.
High value,
I know fair use.
Competitive, successful men marry. They marry. Oh yes, they marry. They marry. They marry. They marry, and they marry. But who are they marrying?
Yes.
Competitive, successful, high value black men marry women like Jeannie Ma.
Yeah, but I thought he didn't marry women like Jeannie Ma. I thought they married women because she said she was submissive. He would marry her, but she's a high-powered woman. What about that dynamic of a high-powered woman or a man like that marrying a high-powered woman? How do we reconcile that?
They don't marry women like Lonnie Love. Why is that, Kevin? Well, I think it's going to be best described by Jeannie herself. Let's get into this thing. Let's get into it, because this is what started all the controversy.
All right, let's see.
This is what started all the controversy. So let's go ahead and kick it off. You guys, be nice, be polite, keep the trolling down, because this is going to get heated.
What?
So I want to talk about this, you guys. USA Today recently reported that President Trump's nominee for the U.S. Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, has close ties to a Christian religious group called People of Praise, who reportedly teach that it's a wife's job to submit to the will of her husband, as the Bible teaches.
Okay.
So far, Barrett has declined to publicly.
Now, before she even said anything, all this engaged woman said was that President Trump's nominee thinks that it's a wife's job to submit to her husband. Like 80+% of black women who claim to be Christians,
right,
purport to be Christians, and she didn't even get out her mouth good before it started. Shout out to Ike.
Discuss her affiliation with People of Praise. I did not even know this existed. But this week, Matthew Cochran of the Federalist defended this viewpoint, arguing that
look at this. Look at Lonnie Love's face. Unmarried.
Lonnie Love, now you know you could have did better with what you got on. I ain't never watched this show. So this show, I don't know what the
Never married Lonnie Love.
What?
Unmarried, never married Lonnie Love. Remember I said all the brothers are asking for is fit. Lonnie Love ain't been fit for a long time. Cooperative, knock it out. She does have the single part though.
Right.
And then right down over here, we have none other than another washed up B-list actress who thinks she's got her opinion matters for something.
What?
You know, before you saw her on the Steve Harvey show, she was throwing rose petals at
Eddie Murphy.
Prince Akeem, or what was Eddie Murphy's character? She was one of them Zamunda rose throwing women. That's who she was. Okay. That's her. Okay. Zamunda rose thrower. Look at her with this thing stuck on top of her head. You know that ain't her hair. It's stuck on top of her head. Now let's see. Unfit weave. Fit weave. You can't get rid of the weave. I'm sorry.
They all got weave on. They all got weave on.
What you talking about? Equality in marriage only breeds resentment. And that just because a woman is submissive to her man doesn't mean it will hold her back in life, highlighting Amy's potential new job as evidence of that. So, ladies, this view. Sorry, I'm literally thinking about my.
See, she can't even get it out because she know these women are going to lose their mind. She know they're going to lose their mind.
Hindsight is a motherfucker. Hindsight is a motherfucker.
Why is the subject of submission? See, before you can get submission, you can need cooperation. Why do unmarried women like Lonnie Love and Garcelle Bouvet think that they have something to tell you women? Not unmarried. I need you to take a look at their ring finger, and it's as dry as French toast.
Right.
Do you view this as ridiculous?
What we had?
Right. Do you guys feel as women?
This is crazy.
This tension coming up when you hear this.
Submission.
Garcelle, what? It's that.
When
word.
I think of submission, I think maybe back in the 50s, in the 40s. But I think what is submissive in the 2020? What is submissive? I think we have to define that. And I think for me, it would never work, right? But I think.
Stop right there.
Well, it would never work for her anyway because she found out her husband was cheating and she sent an email to everybody that her husband works with and told everybody that her husband worked with that he was having an affair and got somebody pregnant or something to that effect. She sent it all over the whole corporation of his job. So she was bogus that way anyway. This Gabrielle Marceau, her.
Always wanting to redefine something. And for me in 2020, it would never work. That's right. That's why you're going to die alone. This is why you are going to die alone. And good for you. You're going to die alone. So go ahead and you know what you need to do. Buy that dog.
I want to figure out the whole concept of you're going to die alone. What exactly does that mean? What does he mean? Not literally, but I'm saying, why did he say that? Hopefully it wasn't just because you're single at a certain point, because some people just want to be single, right?
You're going to die alone. And these women are proud to be dying alone. So I have no sympathy. People are like, why are you so rude? Why do you say some of these things? Because these women don't care. They know exactly what's coming towards them. And they are not only do they know it, they're proud. So, hey, let them have it. Again, Fanny, you ain't been nobody since the 90s. Where'd they even dig you up at? Talking about it would not work. Who wants to marry you in the first place?
Oof.
It really is up to the couple. I think you have to decide what is submissive. Is it cooking everything he wants? Is it having his, bath ready when he comes home? Like, what is it? I think that has to be really redefined, but I'm not down for that. You won't get me to be submissive. There are things that I'll give and take in a relationship, but to be completely submissive,
that's compromise.
Like even the word obey when you're getting married in a marriage vow, you say obey, but
notice that everything she said Notice that the things they say when it comes to submissive are automatically negative and conflated. What does it mean to actually have to prepare a meal for your man every day? Well, you got to eat 2 or 3 times a day. Understand, these are the same women who would talk about they wanted children, but you got no problem.
Yeah, but the thing is with that word submission, Submission doesn't have a negative connotation. It just has a connotation. Surrender. It's more of a surrender. Nobody likes to surrender. I don't care whether you're a male or a female. Nobody likes the word to surrender. So submission is really, a break off from that. And that means to surrender. And nobody wants to surrender their will to another person. So it's going to be a negative connotation. It just is going to be that way. Just think about it. If a woman said that to a man, you will submit to me. The first thing you do is a knee-jerk reaction in the other direction. So women feel that same way too. Or the word elicits that same reaction.
Who's gonna cook for the kids? See, when I first started getting hip to this, woman is my age. And when I first started getting hip to this was in the late 80s on a college campus. And we used to have these relationship seminars. And we heard these women like her standing up all the time talking about how they ain't going to submit to no man and do this and don't do that. Right. They want this modern 50-50 relationship. And I remember standing up in 1989 and saying, got a question. Okay, in this modern 50-50 power couple relationship, do you ladies want children? And across the board, yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
I asked one question, like I always do, shut the whole piece down. Well, if you ain't gonna cook for them, who is? Cricket ass quiet. Because all they had ever associated cooking with is subordinate to a man, like you gotta cook over a camp, like you gotta go chop wood and make a campfire and cook for a man on a pot that you made out of.
I wonder where that concept came from, that women didn't cook or women didn't want to cook. Where did that come from? I mean, maybe that came from the younger women these days who order the Uber thing, who do the home chef, who do all of those kind of things. Maybe that came from those young people. But I don't think any woman that definitively got on this internet said, I ain't cooking and I ain't cleaning. I don't think I ever heard that. All the time that I've been on the internet, I have never, the 2 or 3 years I've been really concentrated in it, I've never heard a woman say she wasn't going to cook or clean. So I wonder where men got the idea that women wouldn't cook or clean. The men just assume she can't cook, she can't clean, she order Uber, this, that, and the third. Knowing how to cook and willing to cook, 2 different things.
Metal you've smelted yourself. Then you got to crawl across broken glass and give it to your Lord and Savior in a submissive position. This is the result of baby boomers and single mothers. My mother's generation birthed this. And this is what so many men my age have rejected. Think about, this is what it is at 50. Can you imagine what she was like at 20? If Vivica Fox and all them other cocktails and queens and Lonnie Loves are still like this at 50, you can only imagine what some of the brothers were saying back then. And here's the problem. These women have no idea what working with a man looks like.
Are people really doing that these days? It's like, I respect you and I will honor you, but I think the obey and submissiveness is out for me.
I think it's so weird when people try to use the Bible for these sorts of things. I think that gets really weird. Obviously, the Bible was written in a different time, a completely different, literally, there's parts in the Bible that literally say that you should stone somebody if they eat shrimp in Leviticus.
Right.
Conversation over. Anytime you hear a fool say something like that, say check, please. You're dealing with somebody who is in malafide, bad faith argument. She is not operating in good faith. You want to go to talk about shrimp and stoning people. I don't even want to talk to you anymore because you're not trying to be reasonable. Think about this. Now, this woman is supposed to be married. But that's the best you could do? The best you could do. Now, understand, all that men are asking today is for cooperation.
Right.
And the men you say you want, This is them. This is why these women end up as single mothers or with beta males.
Ain't that ironic? Here's the thing, though. He says women they not want cooperation. We have to be you have to make sure that you come with your piece of it, because every person has a piece. Every person has a part to play. Men don't just sit down in a room and then the women come in and then she's meek, mild, and submissive and all those things. And it just works that way. That's why we have the high rate of divorce that we do, because men think that way. You think submission means, okay, well, I just got to do X, Y, and Z. And then when you tell them you have to do more than just be a man, I never said I wasn't going to do. I never said none of that. Okay. No, that's not how that works. On both ends, in order to get submission, you have to be a trustworthy person, a trustworthy human being. You have to elicit trust, and the woman has to feel safe. You have to think these days in terms of who feels safe. Does the woman feel safe? Are you a trustworthy individual? You're not going to get submission if you don't have those two things in a relationship. You just won't. I could be married to you and not trust you. You spending all the money. You cheating on me with all other women. You're not coming home at night. You're not answering your phone. I don't trust you. So how am I supposed to be submissive to you if I don't trust you? Submission comes with trust and safety. That's it.
Because driven, competitive, successful, productive men, we're not going to negotiate this with you. I'm not going to go back and forth with you, because I only deal with a certain caliber of woman. Guys like myself only deal with a certain caliber of woman. And dudes like myself got plenty of women trying to get around us. And those women have their fair share of men trying to get around them. It is a choice for these two to be together. Now, what you have are some uncompetitive women trying to make the best choice out of poor choices, because off the rip, who would want to get with Garcelle Beauvais or Lonnie Love? I mean, given the alternative of the two, Garcelle is more visually appealing, but her attitude is just as stank.
We have to recognize
or not color your hair.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's literally really extreme things that are said. I think God also gives us wisdom, and I think that there are also other parts of the Bible that recognize how important and how essential a woman is to the world and to a marriage, and it speaks on equality. Like for me, I just feel like the concept of being me submissive to my husband, but what is he not submissive to me as well? I think for me, I think that's what give and take in a relationship is about. It's about compromise and.
Feel sorry for you, bro.
Wow.
Feel sorry for you, bro. Your woman just got on camera and said, hey, the Bible says we're equals. And you submit to me and I submit to my, all out of context. Can you imagine what it would be like if that dude going into the barbershop after this bit aired? You basically just took your husband's gonads and put them in your purse. Because anytime he goes around anybody else, I'm like, damn, son, that's what you married to? And
well, I think she was just having questions about what this particular submission is related to. I don't think it was a deal breaker.
Don't let her be the breadwinner, which my gut says she probably is. I don't know. But all bad. This is why I say do what you want, guys. Do that 50-50 stuff if you want to. Formula for.
So he was not a proponent of the 50-50. So the 50-50 was not a good thing for him. Or he didn't think it would be 50-50. He thought it would be, you need to be provider. Make sure y'all hitting the like button coming in, please. Make sure you're hitting the like button. So he thought 50-50 was not a good idea.
For this.
Stop smiling when you see that picture, Jeannie.
No, it's so
was
cute.
Like,
why?
But I feel
I
like
love it.
Like this just takes us backwards, you guys. As women, we fought so hard to be equal and viewed equal in our relationships, in our workplaces, and the concept of being submissive has a negative connotation to it. I think when they're talking about her being a boss and obviously having this incredible position that she may be taking, guys, there are people who are bosses in their workplace and then they want to come home and let their husband lead. That again is their choice. That is not them being submissive.
Right.
That is them
That's what I'm talking
choosing
about. It's about
that
the
that's what they
couple's
want.
decision.
It's a difference.
Right.
That's right.
No, you know what the thing is that what works for a couple works for a couple. I can't.
Shut the fuck up, Lonnie Love.
What?
I've been wanting to say that for a minute. Shut up. I and men like myself absolutely don't care what your swole up ass has to say about anything. You, in my opinion, you and women that have your attitude are enemies to women, black women in particular. You are my enemy when it comes to dealing with black women. And I'm going to expound on that more later. I don't care who you're dating right now. You're supposed to be happy. But yet you still find a way to get your big swole ass up here and still have an attitude problem about something. Seek help and shut up.
That's it.
I can't judge them because that works for them. The problem that I have with this whole submission talk is that people will bring it over into real life. There's no way that women,
politics.
I feel women in this country can't have real equality.
This woman is about to make the point of you can have that submission stuff at home, but when I'm in the world, treat me as an equal. Cool. No protection, no door open, no nothing. You are a genderless being. That means you got to get it out of the mud just like I do. Got no problem with that. That means at work and anywhere I don't see gender. Guarantee you'll break, and women like you will break long before men like us will. Fine, 100% fine with that. Don't cry, don't say shit, don't ask for nothing, don't ask for any girl push-ups in the world. You need to get it out of the mud and come stand up, square up, and compete with men. Just because you weigh like a heavyweight don't mean you can play like a heavyweight.
If you have this same old-fashioned, outdated type of thinking.
Right.
Now, in a marriage, that's fine, but if he thinks like that for a woman and she thinks like that for herself, then when they go outside, they're trying to spread it. And that's what you see right now. So now you're getting articles about, oh, they should be, women should be submissive. So now you have women that necessarily aren't in relationships.
Hey, Lonnie Love is married now. She never did lose no weight. So, hey, she doing her thing. But look, see, it's good to go back sometimes and look at this stuff and see the things that were said and predicted and see how off they were. And now she married now, or married or a boyfriend.
Questioning, well, should I be?
She said, you got women out here submitting at home in a happy cooperative relationship with their man, and they out here trying to spread that in the world like it's a disease. Did you hear what she said? They're out here trying to spread it. Like, if you want to be submissive in your house, but in the real world we compete, fine. I can't wait to hear about the time you get booped, something happens. Oh, I don't want to wish nothing bad, but ladies, I don't think you want the world Lonnie's talking about, because that means you're going to need to be 51% of the military, 51% of the construction workers, 51% of the police force, the firefighters, ditch diggers, trash men, all the crappy jobs. We're gonna need y'all to be 51% of all of it, and we're gonna need it to be done at the work at minimum level of the worst man. We're gonna need you to be 51% of all that, 51% of the homeless population, all that. I need you to be my equal, Lonnie Love. Guarantee if you had to get out here and pay like your weight, that weight would drop off of you because you couldn't make it out here.
Okay.
So you sitting up in there, air conditioning that man have made, building that a man has made, all this stuff that men have made, and then gonna act like butter won't melt in your mouth. Shut the French toast up. Tired of hearing you.
Way. Should I do that?
Right.
And that's not true equality for women. So that's the reason why I have a problem with it. What you do in your relationship, that's on you. But don't let it go out to the outside. That's what I'm saying.
But even that is still a choice. That doesn't mean that you're being submissive because you're being forced to be submissive. That doesn't mean you're being submissive because that is what is required of you as a woman. That is a choice.
Yes,
right. And because of that, I want to give you guys the actual definition of.
And thank you, Jenny Ma, for listening to all that and coming back.
Yeah, but this was it was a big topic back then. It was a big topic back then. It was a big topic now. Because submission, that is your woman has to choose to be submissive. She has to choose to be submissive, but you still have to have those elements that I said. You have to have those elements in place before you can expect a woman to be submissive. I mean, I can understand sort of the argument of it because you have to have trust and you have to have safety. So you can't be forced into submission. It's got to be something that you want to do. It's got to be, and you all know that you've been in a relationship where a woman is not submissive. Submission does not mean happiness. Submission does not exactly mean that she's a rowdy person either. So you can't say one or the other. Submission is something totally different. That you have to have trust and you have to have safety. You just can't ask for submission just because I'm your husband. That's not how that works. It's not how that works.
And G'ing up. Because I know people in the chat room are going crazy. You guys can have your opinion, keep it respectful. But here's the thing. I need you guys to get the likes up. And we got 3,700 people in here. And we're going to need these 3,900 people because we're going to open the call lines. Because I want to ask a question. You may not like the word submission, ladies.
Right.
But do you like dying alone? You may not like the word submission. Do you like the word single? Because men, especially competitive men, successful men, high value men, are not going to marry you. They are.
Well, we know all that. We understand that, but we also understand that competitive men are not going to be looking at every single female that hits the planet because there's not that many of y'all to go around.
Not going to marry you. They will marry Jenny Mai. They'll marry Becky, Mylene, and Marisol, but they will not marry you.
Mm-hmm.
They will marry Jenny Mai, Becky, Anu, and Marisol, and women who think like her. They won't marry you. So that means you will die alone.
Yeah, that's where me and him will differ on that. Because not all women are submissive and not all men require submission and not all submissive marriages work. So it's not a matter of submission. Besides, people overuse it, don't know what it means, don't know how to promote it, don't know how to foster it when they do get it. So it's just dumb to be asking for it because most people don't even know what it is or what it means to do it. So.
Oh, you don't think you'll die alone? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can date out and deal out. That's right. But when is Lonnie Love's wedding? Yeah, she ain't got one.
Submit. And then I want to explain how I see this. So the actual definition of submit is to accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man.
Big ups to Jenny Mai for coming back and saying, yeah, fuck what you're talking about. Jenny Mai got a man at home, and I am going on the record saying straight up in front of all this BS, I want to submit. See, Jenny Mai is about to tell you that she is a strong woman. But one of the things that strong women, actually truly strong women, learn from their mistakes. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take... You're not strong if you don't learn from your mistake. You're just a stubborn pig.
And see here, this is where I differ. This is where I part ways. Because now we understand the outcome of Jeannie Mau's submission. We understand the outcome of that submission. We still don't have the full context of why her and Jeezy broke up. But you see here her declaring, I'm going to be submissive. We don't know whether she was or she wasn't. She didn't appear to be submissive to me. But she said she would be submissive, so okay, we'll take you in the. But then that didn't save your marriage either, now did it? So that tells me that's not a part of the success, okay? That's not a part of the success of a relationship. She didn't necessarily lie. She didn't necessarily lie because most people want to go in second chair, or most women want to go in second chair, right? And she's from that culture. She's from that Asian culture where women are taught to be submissive. So she knows what it is. She knows how to get in line when she's supposed to. She understands that. So it wasn't a matter of her submitting. It was just a matter of her demeanor is not, she chose a different path. Okay. She chose a different path. Okay. She wasn't a submissive type. But see, here's the thing. Jeezy chose her. Jeezy chose her. Okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. See, there's things that have to be present for submissive. A lot of people, yeah, it's okay, but a lot of people, have submission and a lot of people don't, but it's not necessary, not to every marriage.
Pig-headed fool.
Sorry.
Strong and stubborn are two different things. Get back into it.
Let me explain. When I hear this definition, like you just said, Adrian, submitting has a negative connotation. It means that you are less important, you are lower than that person that you're submitting to. It usually can be like, referenced as somebody who works lower than you, and that's not what I'm referring to here. Yeah, but what I've really learned in my life for my definition of marriage, I'm not saying what I want works for everybody. I'm saying for me, I'm a very
Big Cap, you got to ask the men.
Say something. Ain't that the modern woman's dream? I can get out here and lead, bring home the bacon fried up in the pan, but when I get home.
Here's my thing. Why didn't Jeezy know that she wasn't submissive? He had to know that she was not submissive. Because you're not submissive. You're not submissive the minute somebody meets you. You're not submissive. That's not a natural thing when you meet somebody. Especially an independent woman like Jeannie Ma. So, see, Jeezy chose wrong. This was all Jeezy's fault. And maybe that's why he got out of the marriage, man. Maybe that's why he filed for divorce. Because he realized she wasn't what I said or she thought she was. She wasn't what I thought she was or what she pretended to be. Because he knew when he met her, she wasn't submissive. Okay? And then in order to get a man, 9 times out of 10, women pretend to be something that they're not. Okay? Yes. They pretend to be something that they're not. Or not pretend to be something that they're not. They try to be what you want them to be. And then sometimes they can't be what you want them to be because you can't be what they want to be. No, we're not going to denigrate her. It wasn't a matter of her sleeping around or cheating or anything else. Their marriage disintegrated because she was not this meek and submissive woman that God only knows why men need or want. The meek and submissive people. I just don't understand why would you even want that or even ask for that. But she was not that type person. She did nothing wrong except she just wasn't meek and submissive. That's all. Yeah. It was his fault. He fucked up.
I have picked a man that I am comfortable submitting to him and letting him lead. See, what these other women on the panel have a problem with is they either do not, but I don't think they can. I don't think women like Lonnie Love can get a man on Jeezy's level. And you guys know I'm not a big high value man as an entertainer or an athlete, but for this one, we'll make an exception. Mm-hmm. Lonnie Love can't get a man on that level. She fails the fitness. She fails the fitness component. Mm-hmm. Lonnie Love can't get a man on that level. She fails the cooperativeness component. So she has to get what she can get. Mm. And then gonna act like there's a problem with men. No, there's a problem with you, a diet, and a gym. You and some therapy.
He's wrong as hell for that.
Old Fancy sitting up there. Wow. You're gonna say that, Jenny? Yeah, do you not see that ring is as big as her middle finger? And y'all are sitting up there as two unmarried, unengaged women not learning a damn thing.
We learned. Hindsight is a motherfucker. We learned. We get it. We saw it. A lot of people saw it. A lot of people saw what was wrong with it. When she said when she said she'll be submissive, a lot of people in her sphere, in her atmosphere said, how the hell are you going to be submissive? And you're not submissive at all. I remember me doing a video about Jeezy and Jenny Ma. And I said, and I speculated that she was putting her hands on Jeezy. She was putting her hands on him. She was fronting him off. She was very aggressive in that relationship. I made a video that said she ain't no submissive person. And I think I recall hearing her say, I'm submissive. Yes, I am. And I knew she was lying. Okay. She was up there lying because no woman who her and Jeezy was the power couple, the looking couple, the we look good together couple. They don't act like that and be submissive.
You aren't strong. You're stubborn. See, you hear that bullshit? So worried about a word. This
video was taken. Kevin did this video when they got engaged. When they got engaged. She got engaged or right after they got engaged.
This is why women like her will never, ever, 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 ever get a high value, successful, or competitive man. See, smart women are willing to be led by high value men, competitive men, and successful men. That's smart. Because the leader, the cover, takes the first bullet, takes the arrow. I got to be willing to die for mine.
Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, but here's the thing. He's speaking on a different level and he's speaking to different men. Your everyday average man is not dealing with the issues that a high value man would be dealing with. High value man obviously can't.
I've talked about this whole thing, looking for my next ex-wife. Tell you this right now. As a man, you have to be willing to lead. And if you want a 50-50 thing, cool. Don't deal with a 100% man. Because he's not going to go back and forth with you. He ain't going to play games with you. He ain't going to do a whole lot of that stuff with you. Understand something. Smart women are willing to be led by high-value men. Smart women are willing to openly declare their inability.
What was so special about asking for submission? It don't even compute with any kind of modern day women these days. You keep saying, people say, well, I want submission. You don't get that unless you're a specific type guy. And it just doesn't come automatically. I don't care what you say and how you slice it. I'm talking about people who within a certain time frame. When you're older, maybe you have you're more in line with, what's going on, but not women today are definitely saying this is wild. By asking for some, what's so special about asking for a 7-figure guy? It ain't nothing special. I don't care whether I have a 7-figure, a 5-figure, or anything else. If I was looking for a guy, I want somebody to adore me and me adore them. I don't care how much money he make. I don't know. I'm just like that. Zeus, what's happening?
How you doing, my friend? Am I echoing?
You sound like you're underwater.
All right, give me a second.
Ty Pro. You said he didn't ask whether I cared or not. He said, what's so special about asking for there's nothing special about asking for a 7-figure guy. Anybody can ask for whatever they want to. That don't necessarily mean you're going to get it. You can ask for Halle Berry. That don't mean you're gonna get it. Anybody can ask for whatever they want. Manifest whatever comes into your life. That don't mean you're gonna get it. And just because you're a regular Joe Blow, you go to work 9 to 5 and you do what you got to do, and you're upfront and honest guy from day one, don't mean you deserve a woman. So it's not a matter of deserve or anything. It's just whatever comes to you in this world. Whatever is meant for you to be in this world, it will be. I mean, I may open up my door and Denzel may be standing outside of it. You know, who knows? Or you might open your door and Halle Berry might be standing outside.
Don't nobody want Halle Berry. Stop it. We done with Halle Berry. She is not the prototype.
Are you crazy? HQ, did you submit during your entire submit? No, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I just trusted my husband. I don't know anything about submission.
What's going on, HQ? What's going on, Zeus?
Hey, Ty Pro. So your microphone working, Zeus? What's happening? What brought you up here? What's happening? I was in the house and I was like, you know what? I'm going to review this because I love the aesthetics in this room that he's sitting in.
You love Kevin Samuel.
No, it's not a matter of loving Kevin Samuel. I love the aesthetic.
You can't even. Have you watched him do Candle of the Day yet?
No. This is that video we saw the other day was no. This is the first video that's a full video that I've ever seen.
You said something about submission though that kind of intrigued me.
Well,
you feel like women can be submissive to certain men but not other men?
Yes. You have to. There's two components that have to be. There's three components that have to be present for a woman to submit to you. She cannot just submit to you because you're her husband. She cannot submit to you because you just ask her to submit. It just doesn't happen that way.
What are the three components that are going to be present?
You have to be a trustworthy human being. For one, she has to trust you. For two, and she has to feel safe. When you think of submission, what do you? If you looked at an animal, a real animal, out in the wild, and that animal submitted to another animal, what does that animal do?
It pretty much bows to it and let it.
The animal turns over and shows his stomach, shows his chest, shows its bowels, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would have to be a very, very trustworthy human being in order for somebody to do that. For you to do that, you'd have to trust that person. Okay. If I said, "Hey, I'm just gonna touch your balls," I got a knife in my hand. I'm gonna touch your balls, but I ain't gonna cut you. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? And you turn over and you just show me your ball and you just lift them up.
I like that analogy. So I like big dogs, cane corsos, Presa Canarios, and they have to submit to you or they're going, they can kill you. And so with your analogy, it ain't about if the dog trusts me. The dog got to trust me. The dog got to respect me. And the dog has to respect me, though. Part of that animal submitting is respect. If they don't respect you.
Not for a woman. Not for a woman.
I
was speaking respect and trust.
I'm speaking on your analogy, but yes, for even for a
It has to
woman,
be safety. Safety. I'm sorry.
it gotta
Somebody
be some
bothering
respect.
me.
But long story short, I don't think that a woman that can't submit to one man to another man, you either submit. If you're gonna deal with a man that you can't submit to, you're not gonna deal with him. I don't think it's that deep. But
People do it every day. People
so
do
they
it
don't,
every day.
and usually when a woman is dealing with a man she can't submit to, she
Mm-hmm.
don't respect him. That's why
Mm-hmm.
respect is the underlying foundation of submission and trust and leadership. You can't trust the leadership if you don't respect that leadership. And I'm gonna drop it right there and let you continue.
It has to be for a woman. It has to be safety. She has to feel safe with you, and you have to be a trustworthy human being for her to submit to you. I posit that most women will say that same thing. It's a way you all think it's respect on your end. It's man. It's a male thing. On a female thing, you have to have the safety part. Because there's no way I'm going to turn over and show you my stomach, show you my parts, and I don't trust you, and show you it has nothing to do with respect. It has to do with trust and safety.
You don't think respect is in there at all? One of the components.
No, because there's a lot of women who deal with men who do foul worthy shit. They do foul worthy shit. And she still.
I'm gonna think about that.
Mhm. I mean, and there's nothing. You said you will. I mean, there's nothing wrong with submitting. I mean, maybe there's nothing wrong with submitting, but you won't be able to know it unless you won't be able to feel it unless you burning with you won't be able to feel it as a man unless you know that she feels safe, unless you know that you are a trustworthy individual and she can lay that shield down. Because many women bark at men every day. You think those women who barking at those men submit to their husband? You think women who talk back submit to their husband? That's not submission. I'm just married to you. I'm just in a relationship with you, but I haven't submitted. I posit a lot of people, a lot of women don't submit. Okay. No woman is going to why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? X, Y, and Z. Does she trust you? Does she not trust? People have sex with people they don't trust every day. Every day. So, I mean, I don't know specifically what a woman will do, what a woman will do to show you that she's submissive. All I know is she has to trust you and she has to be safe. The number one thing a woman will say, and I said it before and I say it again, you ask any woman on this planet, and I can speak for a majority of those women, you ask any woman on this planet, and the first thing she's going to say, one of the first three things that she need in a relationship is safety. So safety has to be there for submission to work. That's the first component, safety. Okay.
HQ, can I jump in?
Yeah, go.
Thank you for having me on the panel, Top Pro. Good to see you, brother. And HQ, no matter what I say, I still love you. Okay. So I wanna role play a little bit, HQ. I'm coming over your house. You say you're gonna cook me dinner.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna cook me? Something good? You gonna cook me something good, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna cook you something good. Okay.
Okay, so I get to the door.
Yes.
We get ready to have a meal.
Mm-hmm.
You lick your lips. I walk in. You lick your lips.
Mm-hmm.
I walk in. We sit down, have dinner.
Mm-hmm.
What's the meal?
Cannolis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't like that. Is there something else we can have?
Spaghetti.
Ooh. I'm sorry. Is there another choice?
Steak.
That's how ambiguous safety and happiness is. When you're saying those things,
mm-hmm.
people at the highest pillar, Rapunzel in the tower, I don't feel safe. The people at the bottom is saying, you got everything, lady. But her thing is, I don't feel safe. I ain't happy. That's why those things can never be reached, because it's always moving the goalposts. Now, doing another role play, I meet Ty Pro at work. He introduces me to the trucking yard. He shows me his truck. I get in and I turn the key. Violation. Since I violated, now all bets are off. What he's saying is there's an unwritten rule of respect, or there's a level of correction. That correction is not personal. That correction is keeping that level of respect. When he was speaking about animals, he was speaking about levels of respect. Respect is good, and it also can be very stern. And when it's stern, people want to say it's an attack. No, it's holding up the standard. When you talked about animals and you said them showing your belly, I agree with that. But name an animal where women lead the pack. I'll wait.
Where a woman leads the pack? Oh, I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Hyena.
Hyena. Yeah, well, hyena, I guess. I know that fleetingly went past my mind, but I didn't want to say that. A hyena, yeah. And so now you know why the hyena has to be hyena-ish. Is that a word?
We're going to make it a word. It's late night on Friday. We do what we want.
Yes, there you go. Hyena-ish. That's why it has to be hyena. She has to be hyena. She's leading the pack. But I mean, I get where they get it, but it's something. When you're asking for submission, you have to know what you're asking for. Not everyone is going to submit, because some people can't. Some people are incapable of bringing that barrier down. Just for example, men said the other day, I'll never tell a woman everything. I'll never tell her everything, because she'll use it against me. So a man, by his very nature, can never submit to a woman.
Hold on a second. What you're talking about is a documented research term. The term is called gunny sacking. Gunny sacking is a feminine thing. Gunny sacking is when you're in an argument with somebody and they bring up something from 6 months ago. That's gun. If you ever look up the communication tactic of gunny sacking, that's a very female quality.
So you all know as men that you will not trust her enough, regardless of the woman. You won't trust her enough in order for you to submit. So you won't do that. So you don't know what it is to be submissive, huh?
You think that men should submit to women?
Oh no, absolutely not.
So
I would talk to him every day.
All right, so so you agree that the woman should submit to the man. The man should.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree that a woman should submit to a man. I agree. I agree that that's something that should be discussed. See, it's not even a matter of discussing it. It's either happens or it doesn't happen. You don't say, "Hey, I need you to submit to me."
The way you describe the woman submitting to a man submitting to a woman is as though submissiveness was a weakness. Like and that's the problem. That's actually, hold on. That's one of the problems that a lot of women have with a lot of the masculine things, like respect and submissiveness. You just said if a man submits to you, you're gonna walk all over him. That's because you look at the word submitting as being weaker or bowing down to, and women also look at the word respect in the same sense. Like if I respect my man, I'm giving him authority over me. Like it's also a bad word. But submissiveness is not weak. Submissiveness is saying I respect my man, I trust my man, I'm going to let him lead. That's where the disconnect between women having men as leaderships in these relationships and all over this space is because submissiveness and respect are bad words or words that show weakness. And then
Yes,
that's where
it
you
does
get the
show
hyena.
weakness.
But it doesn't though. And that's
Yes,
see,
not to you, not to you, because you're a
but
man. To a woman,
but
it does.
but it by definition universally is not weak. And that's why the hyenas move the way they move. You know what I'm saying? Because and that's why we use the same correlation to women like that to hyenas because you shouldn't even be viewing your femininity as weakness because the only other thing is to be masculine and being submissive and being
No,
respectful
submissive,
being
respectfully,
submissive
no.
being submissive is a trait of femininity. That's why the masculine or the male plug has a prong that sticks into the feminine or the female outlet, which is the receiver. It's a masculine feminine um balance when you submitting. The feminine submits to the masculine, and it's not a weakness. It's just trust and respect for
Well, I mean, it is a weakness to some women. That's the whole point. Is it that it feels like a weakness to a lot of women. You can't help it. See, when you all use it, and when everybody uses the word submission, it's there is no way to get around the connotation of laying down and showing your stomach. It is what it is.
But you
You
know what makes
you
women
can't.
think that? What
No,
makes
it's the way
what
it is. That's what submission
no
means.
no what makes women have that ideology behind submission
Mhm.
and respect is feminist propaganda. Because submissiveness, you guys run to femininity and submissiveness when you know it can get you when it can benefit you. And the only opposite of those things are being masculine and being aggressive. And then you say, well, I had to be masculine, or I had to be aggressive. I'm dealing with all of this stuff. It's because you running from your natural nature.
Yeah, but
And I
submission has nothing to do with the
Ty Pro.
femininity. That
Ty
has
Pro.
nothing to do with femininity. That's where you have that
it
wrong.
has everything to
Because there
do.
could no, it doesn't. Because men can be submissive too, so it's not feminine. Men
Ty
can be
Pro.
submissive to a higher authority. It says in the definition, submission. You bow to a higher authority or a higher lead, and sometimes you have a man who is a higher lead. So it's not just a feminine thing. It's just a bowing to another person's strength thing. It has nothing to do with femininity because you can be feminine and not be submissive. There's a lot of women walking around right now that ain't submissive but they're feminine. That's not the same thing. It's not related.
Yes, it is, but good way of twisting the words.
Okay,
Ty Pro.
that's the way you look at it. I'm just telling you how women look at it. They
Ty
don't
Pro.
look at it that way.
Let's role play a little bit, Ty Pro. And this
I'm
is
with you. I'm
where
with you.
women, and respectfully, Ty Pro, this is where women don't understand a certain word and they love playing these whole word games. When Ty Pro comes to me and says, hey, don't touch my vehicle, he's telling me where the line of respect is. If I do something that crosses that line, we are now in a realm called accountability. Accountability, he may call me out of my name. He may call my mama out of her name. He may slap me. He may push me. He may knock my drink over. But I caused that. However it goes, that's my accountability. Whether I like it or not, Ty Pro is going to correct my behavior. Even in the animal kingdom, when you do something that's out of your territory, your behavior gets corrected. When a woman does things that are masculine, yelling at a man, trying to front him off in public, trying to do all these things and blah, 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 she's out of character. But the reason she's doing that because there is no accountability. She is not, Ty Pro is not going to slap her. He's not going to knock her drink over. He's going to ask her a question. What do you think you're doing? That's the difference. You're saying submission. See, when Ty Pro and I are on the team, I don't think of submission, but when I talk to high-end women, they use the word, well, I'm not submissive, I'm compliant. It's the same word, but for them, they need different words. When Ty Pro and I are doing something and I don't want to do it, Ty Pro say, come on, man, be a team player. That's him saying submit to the cause. It's just wordplay. Guys don't have those words. We don't think John is telling us what to do. We submitting to John. We don't. We say it's on John's shoulders. Okay, we're gonna do our job. That's where a guy goes to. And I think Black America had a better way of saying it. I never thought of the word before, but it's duty. Like, I'm not gonna mess up the team. Hey, that's how Ty Pro is. I'm not gonna mess up the team. With that said, I'm in. Thanks, Ty Pro.
For sure, bro. For sure.
No, you gave me he said you just wish this isn't good for the younger generation. It's exactly the conversation that you need to be having with the younger generation, because we're looking for things to work. We're not looking for things to be how you think they should be, or how they should work in the past. Apparently they're not working. So if they're not working, you have to try something different. So
HQ, I'm sorry.
Are you what?
I was gonna ask you one question.
Yeah.
Do you think it's beneficial for a woman to submit to a good man?
Is it beneficial?
Mm-hmm. To that woman and a relationship?
Yes, it depends on what you mean by submission. That's the point.
Okay, what do you mean by submission?
Hold on, Ty Pro. Anytime you use that word submission, it just makes their back crawl.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, but I mean, just when you get married, you gonna take the man's last name. 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. That's a part of submission. He should have a plan. We agree. Men should have a plan. Men should lead. In order for Ty Pro to lead, I have to follow. I might not look at it like submission or being compliant or whatever, being a team player, but I'm gonna follow him. And here's what I've learned in the game. Ty Pro is gonna be my teacher. I'm gonna absorb everything he has to teach me. But there's gonna be some nuances he's not gonna teach me. I'm gonna have to keep my mouth quiet and learn.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I have to do is I'm gonna get to a point where I do it different and people gonna think I'm better than Ty Pro.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the humbleness of the game comes in, and I don't overstep my boundaries because he allowed me to be better under his wing. So I always hold him in a humble regard. And I think a lot of times we let our competitive nature and our mouth and ego overstep those boundaries. And that's how we kind of destroy the community versus help each other.
So submission happens in male relationships too. I got it. Right?
Sure.
Submission is just a dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it happens in male relationships.
That's not what she was doing, Ty Pro. She was gaslighting because she didn't want to use submission with women, but she loved using.
No, I didn't even have an opportunity to answer. You jumped in before I could answer.
Oh no, you threw the gas in and walked out the room. I got you, baby girl.
No, I said it depends on the person. A lot y'all under the impression that every man wants submission from a woman, and not every man wants submission from a woman, and not every woman is capable of submission. So it depends on the couple, how they want to proceed in their relationship, whether they want submission in that relationship or not. That's the whole point. You can't just say every man wants submission. It doesn't work that way, because not all people are submissive, and the people have trauma to the point where they won't ever be able to submit. So no,
How do you have trauma at home, but you submissive at work? See, that don't even make
sense. How you have trauma at home? How you have trauma at home? If you've been in relationships, or you've been in had experiences that happen to you, like being raped and stuff like that, you're probably never going to.
How many times does that happen? Why do we always go for the unicorn? Why do we always go for death?
I'm not going for the unicorn. Murder? I'm just telling you, not every person is able to submit. That's it. I'm not saying anything beyond that. I'm saying you're asking for something that may or may not happen in your relationship. So it's not that important. You just want somebody to follow you. Then that should be what men should say. I would like to lead in the relationship and do X, Y, and Z.
Game. We're playing the word game, semantics.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
I know you don't.
But the whole point is you want people to follow you and to follow your lead and to do X, Y, and Z. Why is it that they have to say the word submit? Why is that such a detail? Because you may not ever get that. There's a lot of
men will never get that. Men will never understand you saying that because we don't value the words like you guys are trying to say. So let me give you something else. Ty Pro and I work. Mm-hmm. We kind of figure out each other. We figure out each other's quirks. Bob comes along. Bob's working with us. Bob got a chip on his shoulder. We call it Bob comes into work hot. At a certain point, hey, you okay? Okay. I'm gonna pull him aside. He gonna either get in line or not. Then Ty Pro gonna pull him aside. He gonna get in line or he not. Then we both gonna pull him aside and say, hey, bro, here's what we need from you. And we're gonna lay out a game plan. Why? Because it's not about me winning. It's not about Ty Pro winning. It's about the three of us doing a better job. To me, that's what when I hear all this rhetoric, that's where I hear the point is missed. Because when you look at the community, tell me who's winning. The families aren't.
Not families. No, I don't see too many people winning. Just is not that. I can't tell. I don't think nobody winning. Actually, I don't think none of that is winning. But that's just me.
Loose, I think it's women are way more prideful and egotistical than they care to admit. You know, they throw them words at us, but certain words, the way they respond to them, there's a lot of pride and ego. You know what I'm saying? And I think all the metaphors you just dropped show how men can operate with each other and not be so prideful and egotistical because we got that respect for each other. Just off top.
You gotta have
the reason we have respect is because there's an accountability marker. Mm-hmm. If I'm 15 feet away from Ty Pro and I say something inappropriate, he'd be like, "What'd you say?" Mm-hmm. Now he's 8 feet away. We got a chance to correct that. But once it's 4 to 3 feet away, we don't have a chance to correct that. It's accountability time. He gonna punch me in my throat. I'm gonna punch him in his throat. We gonna go outside and we gonna figure it out. That's not true with women. We can say whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. We can be whatever size we want, and there's no accountability. I had the submission conversation with a high-powered girl I was dating. And she told me women at the office don't like the word submissive. They want cooperative, or she just gave me like 3 other synonyms. I was like, oh, okay. And I listened to her for about 15 minutes. And I said, let me ask you a question. I said, when your boss comes in and tells you to do something, do you do it? Or do you give him this synonym conversation? She just smirked and she goes, yeah, we all fall in line.
But I got a question. Why is it that you need submission if
No, let that set in. You jumped on that too fast. Let that set in for a second.
No. I wasn't even listening to your story.
I know you weren't. I can tell by the way you
damn.
I was thinking of something else.
HQ, it's just like it has to be the words that we use have to distribute equal power. Everything got to be a partnership or some type of. It's all about partnership. So submissive and respect it doesn't seem like the power distribution of y'all not going for it. Everything gotta like the brother Zeus said, compliant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
and
don't
that's because
understand why though.
y'all
Why?
y'all looking at what we look at as y'all superpower as
Hmm.
y'all weakness. Y'all looking at being soft, feminine, submissive, dainty, not aggressive, not all loud. Y'all look at that as a weakness, and now we got so many women that act like dudes. You can see it in every aspect of the community. These chicks is acting like dudes because y'all don't value women and femininity, and now you got people asking what a woman is. You
Hmm.
gotta take your power back because it's gonna be lost. And these days,
Mm. No, I'm trying to figure out how it would be palatable for the women. The word, instead of saying the word submission, it can't be. I don't know how it would be palatable to the women, because you really don't mean submission. You really mean cooperation, right?
you
So if you,
you you know who else don't probably wouldn't have liked the word submissiveness?
yeah, who?
The Jim Crow black people, fresh out of slavery. That would it would probably have the same effect in your stomach as it do as a woman because
And still, the
submissiveness
word submission.
was looked at like a bad thing. You were beat into submissiveness. You were whipped
No, no, no.
into submissiveness. You guys just look at it. That's why you hear people talk about the old school with slaves. Old school great grandma was a slave and she didn't have a choice and she was
Mhm.
miserable. Even though grandma was cooking pancakes every time I seen her, and she was happy and cool. But nowadays it seemed like that was just misery. So everything associated with that life is just a bad
So who
word.
came up with that word? I mean, who came up with the? I mean, to me, I understand the word. I understand. I understand it really means cooperation. I understand all of that. I'm saying, why is that a knee jerk? It's a knee jerk reaction. You just have
Okay,
to
so
think how it affects men, because if you tell a man he has to submit, you have a knee jerk reaction too.
no,
So if
no, no,
you,
no, because I can submit to my boss. I can submit
mhm,
to leaderships because it's a respect thing.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? I can submit to my coach. I can submit to somebody that
Dot Pro,
I can acknowledge. Yes, sir.
can I jump in? Can I jump in?
Of
Because I,
course,
I
of
see
course.
you. I don't
yeah,
even know you, but I see you as a certain way. I see you
Okay.
as a dude that grew up on the streets and you learn the street language.
I
And
did.
then you start learning that was limited boundaries. And then you start learning how to integrate with other people.
mhm,
Mhm.
You learn how to integrate with their language. And you realize sometimes when you was gonna fly off the handle, the street was gonna fly off the handle, all you had to do was go, oh, that's interesting. Or mm-hmm. And
mm,
you keep it pushing. Those are things you learn as you broaden your horizon.
right.
I've seen the growth in Thai Pro from the months of speaking. And for me, I can tell like you have to hear a couple of words you don't like to get where you want to get to. You can't get charged up on every loose word. And I think in the neighborhood, that is definitely one thing we don't do. We will not expand our verbiage. But the reason I feel we're like that is because we're the only people who don't have a language. So we became the kings of slang. We
Mm,
love slang, but we don't love purposeful words. We don't love that. With that said, I'm in.
oh,
I,
okay.
I like that. That was fire. I never thought about it like that. We don't have a language, so we made our own. But you're
Mm,
right though, bro. Just talking, what I'm saying? It's an act of submissiveness. I know that it's brothers on the panel that's more articulate than me. I'm like, you know what? That gives me a scale of where I'm at and where I can work at to be better. But even with I'm not a religious type, but I submit to God. I submit to a higher power. I don't try to control everything. I don't try to, you know what I'm saying? It's not that bad, HQ. It's not that bad of a word. But
No, I'm not thinking it's a bad word. I'm just thinking how you can get women to accept the word, and they don't seem to be accepting the word, because this video is like 3 years old and they still are bucking against that word. So it's not a matter of me accepting the word. I already been down the road of being submissive and all of that. I'm saying the women of today, how do you get them to accept that, not necessarily that word, but that state of being or that state of mind, in terms of what? And it's just a weird dynamic. How are you gonna get them to get around to believing and doing that? But you got to start with that trust and that safety issue before it even happened. He says, I submit to my wife when it comes to raising our kids. Yeah, people submit, men and women submit every day.
Can I jump in and say something about Kevin Samuels? I think a lot of things are missed.
What?
One of the pillars that Kevin Samuels stood on is he was big on religion. He was big on marrying first. He was big on the church bringing people together and people doing things with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So he was an elder in several churches. That's where he spoke from. Another thing he did, he was an image consultant. So when he talked about things, he could bring up the data and tell you that. Another thing, when people talked about money, he would say, here's where the money has to go. Here's what you have to build. Because to me, this is just me, I live half my life around black people, half my life around white people.
Right.
Black people, we have Monday through Wednesday thinking. Wednesday through Friday thinking. White people are thinking what they're going to do the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's called big picture thinking. Right. And because they have that, they plan different. They handle things different. And if we expand our horizons, that's what he was trying to say. He was saying, if you working now, you making this, you making that, then you're going to have kids, then the kids are going to cost. And he would tell people, like kids cost $300,000. He would just give a number where people didn't have that before. And that was where he was actually holding the line. There wasn't somebody who was actually giving clear answers. And that's what made him popular. With that said, I'm in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can see the I can see the goodness of it. I can see the goodness of some of the things that he has to say. I can understand.
Can you really?
Yeah, I mean, not everything, because some things gave me the ick factor, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this here is one of those things, but
I think y'all just needed a nice, healthy one-on-one where you was on camera, him and you, and that would have been classic.
I don't know. I don't know. He's. I take people in their totality. That's all. I take them in a, look at their life experience, look at what they say, and then say, okay, I can believe that, or I can work with that. He is what he is. I mean, he was good. I mean, some of the things he said are amazing, are good things. And from the little clips that I have seen, some of the things one or two things I, agree with, and one or two things I don't. So, it is what he is. It was good. It was good. What? Somebody was finna say something?
No, I'm about to say that would have been his most viral video if he would have went up there.
Oh man. Well, he was a decent talker and all that good stuff. He was good. He was good. I'm listening.
An unwillingness to leave.
I'm listening.
You can do it, but do you want to? And are you cut out for it? You're not. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you're cut out for it or you want to. And Truly smart women need no nuance to declare their voluntary submission. That's what I like about what Jeannie said. She didn't back down. She's like, I can do all this stuff. I've done it. I don't want it. I don't want that responsibility. I like the fact that he's doing it. And I'm saying it loud, proud, voluntarily in front of everybody. I'm able.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able, but I'm no longer willing. So therefore I'm unable to do it. You got it. No nuance, no gray area. They kept trying to get her that, well, it's over here. No. She was like, that ain't it. That ain't it. She's like, because when I do that, she said, because when I step into those areas, I'm a danger to myself and everything I'm building.
Mm.
So I got to check that of my own self. And she got a man that knows what he wants. See, let me tell you something about high value men, competitive men. Let me just tell you something about competitive, productive men. We don't have time to play games. That's why I say time is the most valuable resource for a man. Let's just go ahead and pop some collars. Understand something. Men are the kind of men you ladies say you want. I don't think many of you can handle them because number one, you got no time for game playing. A lot of games you want to play with Tim and Nug and all that stuff. You ain't got to do that with us. I'm busy. These dudes are busy during the day.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't sitting around trying to check in to see what you're doing, to check in with this, check in with that. I got shit to do. These guys got shit to do, stuff to do.
Mm.
Men like that are looking for a woman who wants to play her role and get on his team. Job, position, field. So he can move on with the process of purpose. You don't want to have to keep coming back to checking. You happy? You safe? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. No. You're looking for something different.
So here, this is another. It's not an issue, but it is what it is. I see that he addresses the high value men. He addresses them, and he doesn't address the practicality or the regular everyday man. So how did that translate over? How does that translate over into everyday? Did men translate what he was saying over to their life, or did it apply?
No, he was clear. He was clear that he had respect for non-high value men, but he was clear on drawing a difference between the two. But he would always show respect to all of the trades. Regular workers.
So
he
how
would
did
always show respect to that?
And I think HQ, he started off speaking to all men, not just high value men. He really was speaking to, when I found him, I was turning 30. He was speaking to me about how to get I was hearing how to get my life on track and become a high value man, and keep in mind that, all right, I'm about to be 30, I'm going to be 35, I'm going to be 40, I'm going to be 45. I want to be increasing my value as time go on. You know what I'm saying? I never really heard nobody speak like that. And I think once he started speaking like this, the people that like me that's listening to him, he even has stages of where you at before you become high value. So when I'm listening to him, I'm like, okay, even though I might not be making 100,000, 200,000 a year, I might not be as established as the men he's speaking of. He's giving me game as I work my way up. Not all men got the ambition to want to be $100,000, $200,000 a year earner, or even live like he's talking about. But like Triple H said, it wasn't for everybody, and he made it clear. But if you wanted to be his age, making his type of money, dealing with women, he was laying the game down for it.
Yeah, but did you all reconcile? Was it a reconciliation between, his results and the results he was saying that you all would have? Was there a reconciliation between that?
What do you mean specifically about reconciliation?
I mean, reconciliation in terms of, he was single. He was single, and he was
Kevin had been married twice.
So he failed twice. I get it.
What are we doing?
What are we doing now? I'm trying to understand
what do you mean? What are we doing?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Lex, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good. What's up, Zeus?
You know, like,
So
what
there's
up, though, Ty? What up, though?
there's something that I've said before. If somebody you like personally or you find a connection with and they give you a list of 10 things and those 7 things make you better, and then they get caught for whatever, or their life is opposite, don't personalize what they're saying. They not your God. Take those 7 things, make yourself better, and go to the next person. We don't always need to be connected to that person, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you looked at the priest, if you looked at the politicians, if you looked at any civic leader, they all got demons. That don't mean they don't have good information. We don't have enough good information that we can pick and choose. We need to put because we got Sexy Red on stage 7. We got Bonquisha as our lead speaker. I think we need to just fill our cup with good information and keep it moving. With that said, I'm in.
That explains Cooley. That explains the Coolies and the Anti-Daniels. That explains
it's not the same thing, because what you said was you was basically saying something about his results. I like Kevin Samuel's results. If I became a 55, I forget how old he was when he passed, but if I was his age and I already got children and I'm successful and I'm fly and I'm making money and I got pretty fine women and I got my pick of women and I'm fulfilled in my life, those were great results. I mean, a lot of women talking bad
I said
about the
it was
way
those who you said you reconciled.
you said he failed.
You
But
said
I
he
don't look
reconciled. You said he reconciled. I said I accepted what you said. I said this is why we can have Coolies and
well,
Anti-Daniels,
I don't I
because
don't
the
like I
results
don't
don't
like
matter.
I don't, I don't, I don't like anti-Daniel results, because his results are from Clooney, and I'm strong on my morals. And I don't like Cooley's results because he's not
No,
honest
Rick
with,
Cooley has
yeah.
what Zeus just said was take the meat and strip the bones out.
Yeah. I get that point, but he also said 7. I would say Kevin Samuels talking, messages aligning with the person he was presenting. I mean, I don't know him personally, but it feels like everything he was saying pretty much was at least aligned. Like if he didn't pass away and he just stopped doing YouTube, he would still be living the way that he was showcasing, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But
I don't know.
I get
I had to I said as a whole human being, if you're living the same, see, I don't look at it the way you look at it. I don't look at the way Zeus looks at it. If I get information from you, I'm not saying everything you have to say has to line up. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if 3 things are wrong, if 3 things are off, another thing is off, something else is off, something else is off. Then I go down the road of are you your information may be valid, but why are you giving me this information when you're leading a false life, or you're leading a false life? That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying you all are saying you reconcile all of that. So if you reconciled all of it, that's fine. The reconciliation hasn't happened for me. It probably
Yeah.
won't.
Let me drop one.
I'm trying to understand what was said. I ain't been drinking. I'm confused, but go ahead.
No, it ain't nothing confusing. We already ran up onto a Cooley, right? And people people live different lives from what
like,
what they say on here.
The thing is, like, to continue to like kind of regale Cooley would be like me constantly bringing up Shira. Like, they are who they are. You know,
Right?
Cooley's
No,
on the outside.
they have
Cooley's
a
more in the
specific.
white manosphere, to be honest. He's on the
Yeah,
outside of things. He
yeah.
never collaborates with like the core manosphere guys. Cooley's not collaborating with any of them.
So let me back up a little bit. I was lucky enough to see Kevin Samuels when he had like 100 views. because he wasn't in this spot that you see him in right now. And he talked to men. He talked to general college dudes about their hygiene.
Right.
He talked to them about washing their butt, about being hygienic in their private areas. He talked to them about better ways of oral hygiene. But those didn't get hits.
Right. That viral video, that one viral video where he made that woman feel very small for asking for a high value man is what made him famous. I get that. I get that.
And then he started talking to other men, and what he is, he's just like you. That's why Lex said you would have a good conversation. You are an advocate for women. He was an advocate for men, but he also held a line for men. So when he talked to the average Joe Blow, he was like, here's what you need to do. And here's how you need to live. And there would be guys who would troll, call him, be like, I got 3 girls and I don't make no money. Now what you got to say? There would be guys who would troll him like that. And the way he would put the lightning rod on them was the same way he put it on the women. But that didn't get no views.
Only when he started to insult the women did he get views.
That's because y'all
look at
I wouldn't necessarily.
Nah,
because exactly how it went down.
I only know. I know that's the first video was that young lady.
When it happened, and when the uprising started, he worked his way. I was subscribed to him when he had like less than 10,000 subs. Zeus sounded like he was subscribed to him longer than me.
It was an accident. It was an accident.
Yeah. He worked his way up. And he kept doing his men content, and he was also doing a lot of fragrance reviews. Those were getting some decent views, but not crazy. Eventually, he worked his way up to probably about like 40,000 subs. He had been on YouTube a long time though, and then he started doing like a late night evening show where he kind of upped his production a little bit, and he started letting ladies call in. And when he started doing that regularly, and sisters was mainly calling in, that's when some would call up sassy, and that's when the back and forth started. And once that started, that's when the show started to take off, because he started to get a lot of views from that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I found him just like Zeus was talking about, but I found him later. He was already popping. I just didn't know nothing about that. You're average at best or nothing like that. I found him because he had videos about Chelsea boots and cologne, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be 30. I gotta step my game up a little bit. And he's going live, and I'm not watching his lives because I just wasn't on that. I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, but what's the candle of the day, and what cologne, what kind of Creed should I, or Tom Ford should I be buying? And then I started seeing them like on Joe Budden podcast, out on 22. I'm like, okay, let me start watching more of his content. But women, angry women, Black women in particular, are the biggest blower uppers of everything in this country. Anything pop off, y'all make it pop off. So yeah, when y'all got wind, it was a man telling y'all self about y'all self. Of course, y'all was gonna make it go viral. Just like y'all make the panderers go viral.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Y'all gonna blow it all up. That's y'all for it.
Right.
It
is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just saying he became viral when he became viral. I think I found out about him right before he died, but I wasn't interested in going over there. No, Kendra G was not popular. I remember a couple weeks later I saw the Kendra G. Or no, I heard her talking to him, and then I wondered who that was, but I never was curious enough to go see her show, or because I never saw Kendra G until I actually was watching SBC. So I never really saw him until after he died. And I never really went over there after that because I was like, oh, okay, well, I ain't making no more content. Ain't no point in going over there and doing that. So I mean, but as I said, and then I heard one clip of something about don't be a stepfather. I remember hearing that clip, and then that was what really turned me off when I heard that clip.
What turned you off about it?
Because the advice was dangerous.
Well, I mean, a lot of women, are like, what about the advice was dangerous? First of all, before I say anything,
because he said that I can't remember, but he said, you be married. He gave a scenario where you be married to me, and the kid says I touched her, and then I'm gonna lose my family and the kids and that whole thing.
I don't know. I just asked because I know you're not a proponent of telling young single women to get with guys that got kids. So
no, I'm not telling single women, and I'm not telling single men. I tell either one of them don't do it.
HQ, yes, I heard him say that before. What you said, like the dangers of being a stepfather in today's climate, and he was correct about that. But you gotta put it in totality. He always was an advocate of, if you had a baby with somebody, go be with that person. I remember I listened to, because I got kids, so I listened to him tell a man, what I'm saying, stop having babies, try to work that out with your baby mama, get your life together. Like, it wasn't just don't date baby mamas. Like, there was more context to his messages.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about. But that's not what I'm talking about.
I mean, but he had a point there. That wasn't dangerous. That was awareness of danger.
Well, let me tell you why it was dangerous. Was dangerous. Because it's a different spin to it. When I heard him say, if I live with you and I'm married to you or whatever, and your kid comes to me and says that I touched her, we can lose our whole family. And he said something, are you going to throw me out, or what are we going to do? We're going to make me lose my family, or something to that effect. And I got the impression, because I can't remember exactly what was said, but I got the impression that he was encouraging the mother not to believe her child if the child got touched in any way. And that's part of the reason why men he didn't want men to be stepfathers, because you're going to believe the child before you believe me, and then bust up my family. And I was like, that's a dangerous message that you're going down the wrong path, brother, when you say some shit like that. See, that's what is dangerous to me.
You think it's another way you could have had interpreted that message?
No.
Other than that? Okay, I'm gonna give you another POV. Maybe he was saying you shouldn't be a stepfather because no matter what happens in a household, that woman is always going to believe and take her child's side. It may not have been, it may have been a drastic scenario, but sometimes you got to do doomsday scenarios sometimes. Yes, that was a doomsday scenario, but it was a very valid and real situation that could have happened. And it is not about believing the daughter, not believing that the daughter got touched. It's about, what if she's lying, but no matter what, even if she is lying, you're going to face the repercussions, because she's going to always take her kid side. And that's why if you have babies, you should be with the people you have babies with. And that wasn't a dangerous point. That was a good perspective to think about, because what if y'all let your daughter drive my car somewhere and she get caught drunk driving and kill somebody? You know what I'm saying? That's not my kid, but I'm taking the responsibility. I'm going to have to eat that. But in the same situation, you're going to always take her side. You know what I mean? So he painted it as a realistic bad choice in the 2020s. It's not the same as the 80s and the 70s, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I get that point of view. I got all the sides of it, but he also presented the scenario of you taking the child's side over him. He presented it as though you can't always believe a woman, which is where we got or believe
Where do you get that from?
gaslighting yourself. How you gaslight yourself?
No, I'm not gaslighting myself. I know what I'm
Because
saying.
no, it's not about
I
believe
know
all
what I'm saying.
women. It's about
It's
no
what
matter
it's
what happens, you gonna take her side. If she
yeah,
fuck up, I gotta deal with her consequences. I
yeah,
can't discipline your child like that. And if
man.
she say anything, it ain't even gotta be that I touched her. What if she lie and say, "Oh, mama, I seen him smashing 3 chicks at the hotel," or whatever the situation gonna be? You gonna believe your baby? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Doomsday or not, your child gonna have the
Well, there's
power to
nothing that's what
ruin
I'm
our
saying.
family.
And that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with you believing your child. There's nothing wrong. But his implication was
But that's
his
cool. But you gotta look. He's talking to men, so try to put yourself in a man's shoes a
I
little bit
am.
too.
You're
I
in
didn't say it
a
was not.
husband's
I
position.
didn't say.
Husband's
I'm
position.
saying it's dangerous for men and women. So I would never encourage. I've already told y'all what I think about a single woman dealing with a man with kids. So it's not a good deal for her either. On top of it not being a good deal for a man to deal with a woman who has kids. So neither one of those scenarios are good scenarios for starting a family, because you may be on the outs all the time. You never know, or you might end up being footing the whole household bill because this money goes out the door to somebody else. It's not a good deal either way for a single person to get involved with a person who has, or it just ain't a good look for either way of those things. But when I heard that video of him saying, don't you got to believe your kid before you believe me, I thought it was a very dangerous message. He may not have meant it that way. I just took it that way. That's all. Just like I don't hear him saying black women are ugly. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You know why you hear what you hear.
Yeah.
You know the other word for heathen, hyena.
I'm not a hyena.
I'm just messing with you. Don't bite me.
You said what?
I said I was just messing with you. HQ, don't bite me.
No. I'm not mad. I'm not a hyena. I'm not a hyena. I'm just being contemplative tonight. That's all. That's all.
Some sort of 50-50, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tell you, the kind of man you're looking for is not really attractive to other women. Your man is going to get hit. The kind of man you say you want, you better be prepared to compete for him, because he is going to be attractive to other women. Other women are drawn to power, money, and status. When women see men movement, progress, competition, and productivity is sexy. So you may be think you're cute and all this other kind of stuff. Women, your beauty goes up and down. Men's continue to go up.
I don't
But
know.
what you know is those, especially the two sisters on the panel, they need the spotlight. They need to be on top. And that's fine. Know thyself. And Garcelle is by herself, and Lonnie has got bottom shelf Brad. Cool.
Bottom shelf bread.
The only problem is Lonnie decides to keep injecting herself into things with brothers. And the thing is, we don't want you. I'm going to just say it. Oof. Competitive, productive, successful, high-value brothers don't want Lonnie Loves. Never have, never will. So you can stop speaking on them.
Nothing wrong with that. I get that too. But the other ladies are not bad. See, we have the beauty of hindsight with Jenny Mai. See, that's the thing. You never know what you're gonna get. You think you're getting a submissive woman from Jenny Mai. Come to find out, she probably putting hands on Jeezy. Look at that.
Want you. You can't give it away. To the Garcelle Beauvais, You know, she was once very attractive, but you know, her attitude makes her ugly. And while she may physically be able to get it, that's all she can do is get it. Men, competitive, productive, high value men demand cooperation. And they're not going to keep asking for it. See, I don't think a lot of you ladies know what it means to deal with a dude that says what he means what he says it up front, declares it, and keeps on moving. That's why it's hard for a lot of women to date a man that's higher than them, because you're not used to the game plan. Very direct. I like you. I want to see where this goes. I find you sexually attractive. I like to have sex with you. I mean, very direct.
Not too many men are direct like that, I don't think. Because they know, most men know that you're not going to get nowhere if you say that. So most men are not that direct. You might get some clowns who might do that shit, but most of them ain't be this direct.
Not all this back and forth and text to this and that. No. Direct. Because time is important. Let's open the call lines. Let's see what's going on. Because I know it's tripping in here. Guys, we got to get these likes up. We are only down to 1,900. We got 5,400 people in here, on 2,000 likes. I'm going to open the call lines. But we need to get these likes up, because
we need to get them likes up.
I'm gonna be honest, ladies, understand something. There's a little tongue in cheek for the human here, but I'm telling you,
people.
I know, right? Kind and caliber men that you ladies wish you had as husbands.
Come on, y'all. We need the likes.
And here's the thing: many of you don't even want to say the word husband because
what we got going on?
You can find them. I'm sorry. I got men like this in my group, and I deal with men like this. Yes, you do. Oh, you want? There's no hope. Well, there's a lot of hope. There's hope for women There's hope for women who are hopeful.
Hopeful.
So what are you gonna do?
Right.
Are you like Lonnie? Or you like Jenny? Because here's another thing. The Jenny, I didn't even get into the race component, but I said it the other day. What? These non-black women are coming after black men. They are coming for the multi-millionaire black men in athletics and entertainment. That was the first wave.
Except us.
The second wave was they're coming for the businessmen. That's where they're going at now. $70,000 and up brothers, that's who they're coming after next.
So why would he say this? Why would this be a part of his talk? Why would he be saying, well, they're coming for those men? They're coming for those particular men making that type of money. Is he trying to scare women into doing some things? What's going on with his speech, with his talk? I don't know. I couldn't tell.
It was a couple years ago. Do you think that what he said was a little accurate looking at the last couple years?
No.
What did he say?
Right here, he said these foreign ladies are coming after these men, and I don't think they're doing that.
Men with money? That's what he said?
Men, I don't think they're doing that either.
All right, look at Travis Hunter.
Yeah, but they went to high school.
That is one thing you say that behooves me.
They went out
several times about ladies not chasing money status.
No, I didn't say women don't chase money status. I said
like what are we talking about?
Women don't. No, they don't chase. They don't particularly.
They're lined up. They're lined up at these practice facilities in locker rooms afterwards. But they've
been doing that. That ain't nothing new. This movement ain't no big movement. It ain't no major movement. It ain't nothing out of the ordinary.
They've been doing it. They done found out that the tech industry make a lot of money. Now look what they've been doing with that the last couple years.
Yeah, but my understanding is the brothers ain't all in the tech thing. There are a lot of brothers in the tech thing.
Yeah.
Let's go. And the women are going for the tech guys.
They at the conventions humping on everybody. You ain't hear it? That went viral. Didn't that go viral earlier this year and last year?
Yeah. They had that big tech conference in Houston.
Yeah, yeah. They was down. They was down there like it was an audition of baddies.
Doing their thing. Okay. I mean,
They
but I don't
doing
think
their thing.
it's a. I don't know whether it's a big movement or not. I mean, I done looked up the stats, and it ain't that. It ain't a lot of movement towards us wanting anybody other than us. So, I mean, it may be a movement towards it. I just, I didn't see it in the stats when I was looking at my stats today. I had my stats today. I didn't see it in the stats, but that's just
You
me.
talking about non-black women looking for black men with money?
Yeah.
That's the stats you're talking about?
No, the stats where black men are marrying these these non-black women. This trend has not gotten that much bigger from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So it's not a big gigantic leap where all of a sudden foreign women or Mexican women are chasing black men. No, it's not a rush towards it. No, it's a steady 5-6%, and that's it. Yep.
They did a study with hands about that. I'm gonna have to look it up.
I mean, it's a stat. I don't know. I was deep in the stats today. I was like, give me the stats on black and white marriages. No, give me the stats on black marriage, and then I went into it. Who has the better rate? Who has the better marriage rate? It's the Asian people. Then it's the black and white black. Then it's the black woman, white man, and then it's the white and white, and then it's something. And the black and black, and then it got to the black man, white woman. So I was going into those stats, and then I was like, what percentage of these stats are foreign women or women that are not black that are married to black men and X, and it was a constant number. It was a constant number that the passport bros, they may be going over, but then the passport bros, they not going over there to marry nobody. They going over there to hunch. Because there was one YouTuber who was in Colombia, who went to Colombia maybe 3 months ago, and he said it wasn't nothing but niggas in the airport, men, black men, nothing but niggas in the airport, and they was all going to hunch. So ain't nobody trying to marry, ain't nobody getting married. They ain't going to get married. They're going to hunch. Passport bro, they can stop it. They already been told on.
They went for the athletes and entertainers. That's over here. The high value Henrys have always been on the with the top.
No, John, I went to Pew Research. I didn't went to different places and got those stats. I got at least 4 or 5 different places that I went to get my stats. Where y'all got y'all stats from? Where you get the stats from? Because I got my stats from.
Man.
Huh?
I get stats, man.
I got my stats from. Wait a minute, I wrote it down. I got my stats for NCS, the PBS. I got mine from the OB. I went to 5 different places and got stats, and then I had to get them put together and correlated. So, I got my stats.
Target on their back. I'm in this group, but the business class, the successful, productive entrepreneurs and guys like that, the $70,000 and up brothers, the top 30% and up, they're coming for this. So if the athletes and entertainers are over there, they ain't even us. And then if the top 10%, top 5%, that's such a small number. Those are unicorns or whatever. There's only 3 of them in the world. Okay, no, we talking about the top 30%. Top 30% that eventually feeds into the top 10%. That's women. I mean, those are men that a lot of you women could talk to. They're in your area. They're in Cleveland. They're in Cincinnati. Yes. They're in Orlando. They're in
So what exactly if you put what he was telling women into words, what is he telling women? What exactly is he telling women? If you can put into words, what does he want? Is he telling women that you're not fit, feminine, and friendly enough for the regular guy, or fit, feminine, friendly What was his message?
Compete, and chase happiness.
Well, women
And
ain't gonna
stop
compete
trying to
or chase. So
chase.
men are the only people that chase. Women don't chase.
Compete for a
That's
good
the key.
man and be happy with a good man.
Be happy with a good man who meets your criteria. Right?
Nope, you adding hyena knees to it.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I'm saying I'm looking for. I'm trying to find the silver lining in the advice. When I'm a results driven person. If you tell me that this circle is gonna get me to that car, then I'm gonna use this circle to get to that car. But if you just giving me that circle and that circle ain't getting me nowhere, you just talking, and that circle that I don't see the results from you just talking, I'm going to tune you out. So I'm asking whether his results, whether what he was saying worked or it didn't work. I'm trying to figure out what worked in his sphere of in his sphere of influence. Was he just talking, or do you have overwhelming results that say, okay, you can say I'm fit, feminine, friendly, I get feminine, but fit, feminine, and friendly. Am I getting fit, feminine, friendly? For what am I doing? What am I doing? By Am I doing that for men to have money, or am I doing it for the regular, everyday, average Joe Blow? I mean, because you're just not gonna get a woman to be fit, feminine, friendly to go over there to compete with him, and he's a regular Joe Blow. It don't work like that.
You're doing it to be happy with the man that you qualify for, and that's why the whole conversation and the questions and all of that come to play.
Yeah. Hey, we all got to do what we got to do to qualify. What the hell?
They're in any NBA city. Maybe not NFL. They're in NFL cities for sure. They're in international cities for sure.
Right.
In NFL cities for sure, but in NBA cities, they're around this country. Why can't you get one? Why can't you get one? Are you more like Lonnie Love than you think? You got more opinions. You see, more like a lot of these women on YouTube always got something. Well, the numbers, the facts, the things. Why can't your big head self get one? Why? Because they're out here. Because if Jenny Mai can get them, and if Mylene can get them, if Jenny Mai can get them, and Marisol can get them, if they're coming to get them in your neighborhood, you look around and the young boys from high school to college are already going with Marisol and
yeah, but how do you explain the beautiful women that showed up on his show? I mean, I was told that there was beautiful women that showed up in the show. So how do you reconcile these beautiful women showing up on his show and him telling the beautiful women that you got to do X, Y, and Z, and they not competing for these men with money? I mean, does that mean you're going to get a man with money if you? I'm trying to figure it out.
Angelique or whoever, the Hispanic women. Why can't you? Oh, let's talk about it. Get them up. Get them up. Get them up. Get them up. Because the call lines are opening because I want to hear from the ladies. Who do you think had it right? Was it Marisol? Or was it Jenny Mai? Was she on to something? Or is Jenny Mai full of crap? And Lonnie Love know what she's talking about.
Well, we know Jenny Mai is full of crap. We know she's full of crap.
I mean, so you can see that he was right about what he was saying.
Money work.
That wasn't the music you say you gonna play.
Can you hear me?
Wait a minute, hold on. No, I'm saying that's not the money. That's not the music he said he was gonna play.
What did he say he was gonna play?
Some weird ratchet shit. I don't know, something with some electric guitars and some shit.
He be playing this and that other song.
He said he was gonna play that weird song with the electric guitar if they don't get the likes up, and he just said he needed the likes up. So what is he playing? Wait a minute. Does submission have something to do with feminine? Did I put that down there? I didn't say. Oh, did I type that? Wow. No, I was asking a question. I was finna say, the woman. There was some beautiful women that came up there. That last lady, she was a beautiful woman. Why were you discouraging her? Why was he discouraging her? If she's beautiful, she had all the qualities that she was supposed to have, except what? So what was he discouraging her for?
You ain't watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
What did he say he disqualified her for?
He put her down as not wanting kids and bossy bitch type female instead of it makes me question, because he said you want to be a wife, or you want to be X, Y, and Z. It seemed as though he was making it seem as though she don't qualify, even though she has the fit, feminine, and friendly. See, the thing is, you can have the fit, feminine, and friendly. She didn't have a stink attitude. She just didn't want kids, or she did want kids. She said she wanted kids, but she was her work thing. So why wouldn't you encourage her if the work thing is the only thing that was wrong? There was nothing wrong with her.
Did you already watch it?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched what we saw the other day, yesterday. I only watched that part.
HQ, can I jump in?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the lady the other day? She was a really good looking, light skinned lady. She went to Howard. She worked in events.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was talking, she was like, oh, yeah, I work and I do this, but I want to have kids and I want to have a husband and I can be a wife. But she was like 42.
Mm-hmm.
She worked in events and I'm just making up some, let's say she makes $100,000.
Right.
She was aging out of events. But when she was going to date the guy, she was going to say, oh, yeah, I work. Our incomes can be combined. And as soon as she got in a marriage, she was going to get babies and that was her way out of the business. Y'all couldn't tell, but that's the type of stuff that Kevin would bring the numbers up. Do you want to be a wife? Do you want to stay at home? Okay, if you want to stay at home, then you're going to need a nanny. And he just broke down all those little things that people think don't take time. He was really good at breaking down the numbers, bringing down statistics, saying where he got the statistics. You can look them up for yourself. He was just pinpoint on bringing that, as you say, people can dream, because there's a delusion, there's a vision, and then there's reality. And a lot of times those lines don't always touch each other. With that said, I'm in.
Yeah, I understand how he pulled people back from the brink, but not necessarily to the point where they could not get what they want. I'm just thinking of the woman yesterday. That woman. She's a beautiful woman. Everything about her was a beautiful thing, beautiful, fit, feminine, all that. If she can't make it to the threshold, how the rest of us are gonna make it to the threshold?
That wasn't what happened. That wasn't what. See, this is where, like, people, when they tell you stories. Okay, so I work in events. There's nothing but women like her in the events. You want me to tell you the difference? They're 25. She's 42. She's 40. I'm sorry, she's 40. So the people who are 25, where we're doing one big event, the people 25 are doing 2 events, 3 events.
Mm-hmm.
She sees that. She doesn't know how to go to the younger girls and say, hey, teach me how to do that, because she's too busy saying, I've been in this business for 15, 20 years. I know what I'm doing. That's one of the downfalls. The other thing that I think is missing in this context, the women who came on Kevin Samuels, I would say a small percentage really wanted his expertise and insight. The other ones wanted to call, and Messy Michonne calls it "Let me tell you," and it's the finger wagging. You ain't this, you ain't that.
Yep.
That's why he has so much things, because he was able to say, "Hey, you're not gonna overtalk me on my show. I'm gonna respect you if you respect me, but once you get out of line, I'm gonna show you the real deal." He was that.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm in.
I haven't seen that show. Show like that. Wait a minute. Let me see. Which one with 35 is 7? Yeah. Okay, I thought he was gonna play that weird music. He gonna play this music right here.
Don't want to hear from you guys.
You still playing it?
Wearing a 3-piece suit,
Oh, he gonna play the whole song. Wow.
Call in. You're liking the 3-piece. Good. Decided to grab a new piece of neckwear today. We'll be rocking that tomorrow. Oh yeah. Kind of love the self-spot time. Thank you, Tom. See, here we go. Classy young man. And I would say this too, to the
okay.
For the longest, women have been, and I don't believe this is all women. I honestly don't. I don't believe this is all women, but for the longest, you've had women like, the women that were on that panel talking to other women, discouraging them or telling them that being with a man or marrying a man or being submissive or cooperative to a man is somehow going to make you a slave. That's all you really heard from. That's what I heard from those women, that by saying submissive, that made you a slave. That meant you have no choice, no words. You were basically you were a pet. You had to follow orders. Who has ever seen women in general, black women in particular,
right,
in mass, operating like that? When have you ever seen a black man say and black women do? My great-grandmother was born in 1892. 1892. And she didn't jump when her husband said jump. My grandmother. My grandfather led the house, but we knew that Big Mama had power. Where's all this fear of being somebody's slave and being down here like this bullshit Lonnie Love was talking about? Where's that from? I'll tell you where a lot of this bullshit comes from. That color purpling of the black community.
You know where it came from? I think I can put it into words where it came from. Women don't trust men to know. Women don't trust men to know how to regulate slave and leadership.
Where did that distrust come from?
I don't know.
Great question.
It came from propaganda like color purple, HQ.
Propaganda like the color purple. No, it was there before that. It came people say the feminist movement. It wasn't a feminist movement.
May I?
We've all had the issue of we've always had the issue of not being. It's not a matter of not trusting. It's a matter of being able to rely. In slavery,
it wasn't the feminist movement. Go
no,
ahead,
there's no suits feminist. Hold on. Because of slavery, when men were slaves, they weren't able to protect their family, weren't able to do anything for their families. The slave master could come and get your child, come and get your wife, come and do whatever.
You know that's BS, because during the civil rights,
Can I finish?
we was married.
Can I finish?
Yep, my bad. Apologies.
So during the slavery times, they would come and get your child, come and get your husband, all of those things. So you weren't able to protect your wife. The black man was not able to protect his wife. So she and him never got a sense of family, never got a sense of togetherness because of the slavery component. Then we had men being massively incarcerated. They weren't there in the household. Women had to do it on their own at that particular time. They couldn't depend on men. They couldn't depend on a husband because he wasn't there. Then it was slavery. Then it was underemployment. They discriminated against black men to not give them employment, and so they weren't able to take care of their families because they couldn't get employed sufficiently in order to be able to take care of a house and a home and build up generational wealth. So they weren't able to do that. So it's all of those components right there that led to women people saying as the generations went on, well, because of these things, you cannot depend on a husband, you cannot depend on a man, you cannot depend on the black man because of the X, Y, and Z, the mass incarceration, the slavery, because they took women out of the house, because of all of these things. These are different factors. People keep saying feminism. Feminism is not the reason why we have the disproportionate. We weren't raised. Black women weren't raised to depend on black men because you weren't there, because of the slavery part, because of the incarceration part, because of the unemployment part. We couldn't depend on you to take care of the family. This is why the families never made it back together again before the slavery component thing. So it's not a matter of femininity or
you think that stuff's still affecting us today?
Okay, wait a minute. I got a question. Let me jump in here real quick.
So hold on, because if you're raised for generations for generations, your men were underemployed. They never got employed correctly. They went to jail. Went to prison. All of these things, women are conditioned over time to say, okay, I know he won't be here because he'll be underemployed. He won't be here. He'll be in jail, X, Y, and Z. So this is how women begin to think that they didn't.
Would the 90s crime bill still be affecting us to today? And you skipped over the whole era of us having whole marriages.
Well,
you skipped over the whole era of us having marriages. You went from slavery to the 90s crime bill.
Women,
we had high rates of marriage all through segregation, civil rights.
You
went from slavery to Joe Biden.
But you're not listening.
You went from slavery to Joe Biden.
You went from slavery, underemployment, mass incarceration. All of those things affected why women were on their own, or women had to raise a family on their own, or they had to be in the house on their own. All of those things down the line contributed to women saying, well, I know he won't be there, so I got to do what I got to do. So women weren't raised to depend on men because of these things. Had nothing to do with the feminist movement. It had to do with those particular things. I'm sure other factors affected it, but feminism was the last thing that women were worried about, because we were already in the feminist mindset, because we couldn't depend on our men. So,
okay, let me ask this question, HQ, real quick. Let me just ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that, or are you saying that other people believe that? That's all I want to know.
Well, I believe what?
What you just said.
Of course, I just said it.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
I know that's what affected us. The feminism, we as black women were already conditioned even before the feminist movement came about, because we actually started it. before the feminist movement came about, we were already conditioned for us not to be in a household with a man.
HQ, you ain't eating nothing yet. We were married at an 80-90% rate during segregation, and black women didn't start the feminist movement.
No, they didn't.
If
Came
all
from
of
Europe.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. They started
all of
the
that,
feminist
from
movement.
Europe.
and if all of that stuff still affect us, then the Joe Biden 90s crime bill still can affect us, and that because that was barely 30 years ago.
No,
And we were
that's not
married.
what I'm saying.
We were married during the civil rights movement.
Yes, but you were
So,
underemployed or not employed at all, and you
but
were going to prison on top of that.
not
Mass
during that time.
incarceration.
Mass
Yes, yes,
incarceration came
yes,
in the 80s.
yes. It came in 1994. I know when it came. Yes, I get all of
Joe
that.
President. But so during the civil rights, 30 years before that, we were married.
Underemployed,
We were
leaving the
married.
home. Yes.
We were
Yes.
self-employed. We were generating dollars through our communities.
That wasn't no.
That's the whole reason
Not
why
to
integration
that
became
extent.
a thing.
Not to that
Yes,
extent.
to that extent.
No, not
To
to that
the
extent.
extent where they burnt our cities down and stole our jewelry.
But not to that extent. You still were underemployed.
No, you are. You are literally making stuff up.
You were still.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm not
she
mad.
was making stuff up.
You don't have to
Everything
believe
you just
me.
said-
That's the beauty. You don't have to believe me. Just the beautiful part is we got. Wait a minute, hold on. The beautiful part is we got an internet. You can look all this up. You don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you why women got. Wait a minute, hold on. The only thing I'm telling you is why black women got used to you all not being in the home since slavery. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not telling you anything else. I'm telling you why we got used to you not being there. That's it.
But really, all you doing is you inserting what sounds like a good excuse throughout real things that happen in history.
So what things that happened that were not it?
What you're talking about
So
started
what
during
didn't happen? None of the things I said happened?
What you're talking about really came in effect during welfare. Before welfare, none of that what you're talking about was even a thing.
So you weren't underemployed.
No, we was employed enough to buy you a Cadillac.
You weren't underemployed
and you could
at
cook
all.
sausage and biscuits. We were.
So you weren't incarcerated before
our
Joe Biden bill.
Back
none of that happened.
Our people moved from Alabama up here for work at the plants. It was work to be had.
We was working.
That's all you got to do is Google it.
Was married.
That's all you got to do is Google it. You ain't got to believe me.
Triple X. We were working and doing so well that that's the whole reason we had sundown towns and was having our own neighborhoods burned down. That's the reason why the Detroit fires and the riots and all of these things was happening before the 80s.
Yeah, man.
Because we was
not familiar with the history, man.
So how do you explain it then? Let's hear.
Welfare in the drug administration.
When did welfare start? Welfare started in the 80s, right?
Not the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s when we were married at 90% rate. So that takes the slavery and this.
So you couldn't stay in the house with the women back then, right?
100 years of men being nothing. And that ain't how it was.
Yeah, that's exactly how.
No, the 80s wasn't 100 years ago. And when y'all said, you know what, you either get rich or you can get out because I got this check from the government. That's how you started feminism, or that's how you started.
Feminism is not the reason why feminism is not the reason why we deny the black family.
Who is the blame for the destruction of the black family? You said
I just explained to you what was the occurrences.
Black men we ain't been men since we got off the boat. That's what you just explained.
I didn't say anything about not being men. I just said the circumstances behind the fact that we were not families was X, Y, and Z. I just explained the circumstances: slavery, underemployment, incarceration, All of those things.
Gotcha.
Those are the things. I didn't say anything else. I just said those things. And the good part about it is you can look it up, but it ain't gonna say no feminism made us break up our homes. That ain't gonna be it.
HQ, we've been having this conversation for
Right.
years.
But ain't nobody looked up the stats.
Yes, everybody has, and it's a combination
right
of the war on drugs and it is no coincidence that soon as the war on drugs came to lock niggas
the
up,
war on drugs and
welfare
the
came to incentivize women from not
so
fucking
the
with
war
niggas.
on drugs in the 80s, late
I broke
70s,
this
early
down
80s
last
did
night.
this.
I broke this down last night up here, man, about Gary.
So no, you didn't break that down. No, you didn't.
Wait a minute.
No, you
I didn't break nothing down last night.
No, the only thing you did was confirm that some reporter busted open up some
you agreed
storage.
that it was a setup.
I know I didn't. You did. I didn't.
Oh my God. Hey, go back and watch that video.
And
man.
do you know? Go watch the video.
Wait a minute, Stephen James.
Go watch the video. Go watch the video.
Hold on. Stephen James, was you watching that?
Yes, sir.
Bro, what are we talking about?
Triple. What did I say? Triple. What did I say when I got done explaining?
I'm not doing that
Triple.
with you.
No, wait a minute. What? No, be quiet. Hold on. What did I say when I said, are you saying this, Triple? You're saying X, Y, and Z. Are you saying that?
Stephen James, take
hold
the wheel.
Hold on,
No,
Triple.
he's an independent guy watching. I don't want to say it because it's going to be me against you. Let somebody that was watching it say what it was.
Okay.
Go ahead, Steve.
I didn't watch anything last night. I don't know. I don't even know what day today is. Right. So first of all, I want to say hello to everybody. Hello in the chat or whatever. What are you ninjas still doing up? It's going on 3 a.m.
It's a Saturday night. It's a Friday night. It's Friday.
See, look, I'm just getting in from work. So all I can say is HQ. The reason
all
why
I can say is y'all better get off this internet because y'all act like y'all don't know how to research stuff. Every time I say something about men, y'all say feminism.
I'm not saying feminism. What only thing I'm going to say is I was born in 1973. Okay, so all the factors that you said broke up the black family or whatever, that was not the majority of the reasons why black families broke up.
Why did black families break up?
So I'll let you Google it since you want to bring up the stats that you get from Google and everything else.
You ain't gave me no something that tells me that I'm wrong. You ain't said nothing about what I'm wrong.
You're right.
Only thing you said was I'm wrong. How am I wrong?
I'm just gonna say
no,
your timelines going from slavery, then going to mass incarceration, and then going to
Remember, I didn't have a timeline. Remember,
you kept saying that from slavery.
I said from slavery on underemployment or unemployment. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that underemployment? Did y'all hear that underemployment or not employment? Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear
and
that?
What's the timeline
for drugs? Did you hear that?
What is the timeline that you're saying black men were underemployed between slavery and the war on drugs? And what is that timeline? What decades are you talking about? Because whatever decades you're going to talk about, there still was black families.
And that's not what I'm saying. I didn't say that at all. I said the deterioration of the black family occurred along these lines. I didn't say all of a sudden we had 90% rate, then all of a sudden we had a 10% rate. No, I didn't. I said slavery. Then I said underemployment, no unemployment, broke up the family. Here we had massive. She wasn't dependent on a man.
How would a black man being underemployed break up the family? What decade did that happen in?
I don't know a specific decade. I just know
Okay.
you were underemployed. Men
Okay.
were unemployed. People
You
got
could
fired. They
argue.
didn't want to hire you. You only made small wages because they didn't want to hire they didn't want to hire somebody to clean out the barn, so they only paid you pittance to do it. That was the only job you could find. I don't know.
But they didn't during those centuries and decades or whatever.
No,
They
from
didn't have birth control.
from about 1870 till now.
Okay. Okay.
1870 till now. So
well, a lot of those decades they didn't have birth control, so they still were having kids, which means they're still families. Because what decade was it that the stats say that the black family percentage dropped and started dropping? That has nothing to do with slavery. That's too far back. Because you, I, nor anybody in the sound of God's voice and in sunshine right now has ever been a slave in this country and can't go back that far. So what has that got to do with the break of the black family? So that's number one.
I'm saying
number two.
I'm saying
number
that was
two.
The beginning.
Black men being underemployed in the black family. Guess what? They still made it work coming out of Jim Crow. They still had families. They still were working on the farms together. How do you explain this? Now, going back to the 50s, they still were working on the railroad, shining shoes, having families, having multiple kids because there wasn't birth control. Still having 4, 5, 6 kids. Didn't break up. How do you explain this? Now, going into the 60s, what happened in the 60s? You had the Vietnam War. We lost a lot of black men then. And then, of course, you had your racists killing black people or whatever. And you had all those things. Didn't break up the family. How do I know? Because, hey, my parents got married in the 60s. The majority of black people didn't get killed or break up their families from the factors that you said in the 60s. So what are we talking about?
Because the 60s is where the feminist movement really started to become a thing by white women, Woodstock, protesting the war, peace and happiness, man, and getting rights and doing all of that was a white woman psyop. And the drugs that started to come into play in the 80s was coming over here during Vietnam War. So that was still something getting cooked up. So the feminist bomb went off first. You all start jumping on that bandwagon in the 70s. And then the drugs, the heroin, and all the deaths from the Vietnam War started going down late 60s and the 70s.
Our marriage rate dropped sharply off in the 2000. 2000 is when our marriage rate dropped. The worst it was in 1900, it was 9.3. In 1950, it was 10.9. 1970s to 80s, it was 10.6. 2000, it went down to 8.2. So it started to happen in the year to 2000.
You gave a very...
No, I didn't give anything. I just gave you reasons why our marriage started to decline. I gave you reasons why when men weren't in the house. I didn't say anything about anything else. I just said the reasons why men weren't in the home. That's all I gave you.
So the reasons that I'm gonna challenge, because you keep saying that you can't nobody say that you was wrong. I'm gonna challenge your reasons with a group of reasons that I would feel are more accurate. So you said that they didn't fall off. I'm gonna go backwards. They start falling off in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
You have a rise of video vixens, strippers. Go to the 90s, Freaknik. I was raised in the 90s. My mama wasn't shit. I love her to death. She wasn't shit. She wanted to be in a club. So you got a rise of and my pops was a family man. He was chasing. My pops was a simp, chasing his wife out of the club with her girls. Like this is what was happening in the 90s. Who wasn't getting locked up from your president? Then you got the 80s and everybody on crack and cocaine. Like HQ, why you made it seem like black men just walk around with their head down, getting beat for the last 20 years, so y'all can't respect us enough to be submissive. No, y'all were integrated with feminism and just wanted to be outside doing whatever
Feminism
y'all
is
was
not the reason.
integrated. Welfare is a component of feminism. Y'all
Feminism is not the reason.
Y'all
want to blame it on
wanted
feminism, but
y'all
it
wanted to
was
be
actually
outside, be at Freaknik, get
we
covered
never,
in R.
even
Kelly
from slavery.
lemonade.
You need to read. You need to read, child.
I read a lot, my baby. You
From
just said the
slavery
marriage rates ain't
on
dropped until
down.
2000s.
I just said from
it took
slavery on.
1,000 years. You just said.
I just said the marriage rate
dropped in
dropped off sharply
2000s.
in 2000. I said women have not expected men to be in the home since slavery. That's what I said. I said
so
that.
what actually was going on in the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s that would cause that friction besides the ghost of slavery? Because if the ghost of slavery that's strong, we wouldn't be wearing cotton.
Because they were able to do that. Women weren't reliable. I mean, women didn't have to rely on men anymore. That was the time in which women didn't have to. Pardon?
You rely on cotton. You got cotton on, cotton pillows. You rely on cotton. You trust cotton. You respect cotton.
Okay.
It's nothing more synonymous with slavery than cotton. So our trauma is that deep that it ruined the psychology of generations of women to the point where they can't depend on men, but you don't even flinch when you grab a cotton pillow. It's still slave. It's still slave pictures on certain shit. It's still Pepsi and Coke products was made during Jim Crow. You don't blink an eye at none of that. But the psychology so deep with our men that that's where the trauma at. All of these things that was invented.
I didn't say anything about men having trauma. I'm telling you, we women have trauma. I didn't say anything about the men. I said us women have trauma. Us women.
But you don't got trauma with anything else outside of slavery.
I didn't say just slavery. Did I say just slavery?
Y'all trust white men though.
Did I just say slavery? I said slavery, underemployment, incarceration. I said all of those things.
And the white man is behind all of those things you just named. Not trying to play victimhood or the big bad white man, but literally a white man was the decider of everything you just named. But there are still women that divest. And y'all even go to the point where saying white men do want us, white men do want us. But that is the culprit of why you're saying we're not.
Oh, don't do that.
What
don't do that.
I'm drawing a connection.
Don't do that don't do that when you got men throwing Becky in our face. Don't do that.
Becky wasn't whipping you.
Oh, Becky was. What do you mean?
Becky was
right along with that. Becky was right there. What are you talking about?
Becky was fucking us and lying on us and getting the white man to come and kill us for saying, "Oh, he raped you."
Right now, you gonna tell me that you think Becky was just standing there? Oh, poor black baby.
No, Becky was like, "Big man dingo, come hit this Poochie." And yes,
Becky was beating the shit out of y'all. Becky was beating the shit out of y'all and then having her man beat the shit out of y'all. What are you talking about?
All right, so let me
finish. Becky was worse. John, Becky was the worst of all. Would you please tell a man? Please tell.
Yes, because Becky was doing what she do now. Throw rocks and hide her hand. Because when I was growing up,
but yet and still they over there trying to wave Becky in our face.
When I was growing up, you'll be warned to messing with white girls because they might put a rape case on you. That's what Becky was doing on the plantation.
Becky doing that same thing today. And Becky doing the same thing today. And you and men are over here trying to weaponize Becky against a black
nobody
woman.
weaponizing you guys like you're doing that thing again.
Oh my
you're doing that thing again.
I ain't. They over here, y'all. You the one was saying the passport, bro. You the one was saying the passport, bro.
So why no trauma for the white man? If it's all coming from slavery, incarceration, because the white man was locking us up.
What do you mean trauma from the white man? What do you mean?
You just said, all right, so you said trauma from slavery, mass incarceration, and underemployment. The white man was the slave master.
I'm not saying that's
hold
all
on,
of them. I'm saying that's a
the white
contributing
man was the
factor.
one locking us up. The police that was beating our ass and spraying water hoses and sicking greyhounds. The German shepherds on us. And the white man was the one controlling the job market.
Absolutely.
But I don't see no black woman ever in history relating the trauma that you just said that you got from these things for black men to anybody else. I even started off with saying cotton. Cotton is synonymous with all of that trauma.
Who is the one who is considered the most race loyal, over 90%? Black women.
See,
who is the one? Hold on. Who's the one over here flexing about passport bro? Who was the one over here flexing about passport bro? You were over here flexing about passport bros. Okay? Then you got Shannon Sharp. You got Shannon Sharp. You got the old boy Jonathan Majors.
You said that black women been conditioned because of underemployment.
I didn't say nothing about no black women. I said black women were conditioned to go it alone. Yes, they were conditioned to do everything on their own.
But they weren't conditioned by any other influences on that situation except the black men. They don't have no other correlation.
I could have sworn I said that many times. I have said that many times throughout this conversation that those are not the only factors that contributed, but those were some major factors that contributed. Didn't you hear me say that? Didn't you hear me say that those weren't the only ones?
I got your number now, HQ. I got your number.
Going all the way back to slavery.
Y'all got to read. You got to do your research. Because every time we talk to y'all men online, it's got to be the feminist movement that y'all don't want us.
I haven't heard one person yet tonight since I've been on say anything about feminist movement. Not one.
You just got here. What do you mean?
I haven't heard any man say since I've gotten on tonight that they blame feminism.
Don't do that, because every time somebody mentions why black women are independent, the first thing to fall out your mouth is feminism. That's the first thing that fall out your mouth. Oh, the feminist movement. No, it's many factors that contribute to black women saying they were going to go it alone. And I said some of those factors were
like
slavery. We couldn't depend on you. The mass incarceration, we couldn't depend on you because you wasn't here. Underemployment, non-employment, we couldn't depend on you to help take care of the family because you couldn't provide. That's why women, or contributions to why women do everything on their own, because they have been trained to do it on their own. That is why they did it on. It had nothing to do mostly with no feminism. I keep saying that has nothing to do with no feminism.
Do you think pride and ego got anything to do with it?
Pride and ego?
Mm-hmm.
Or what is your top 5 reasons? Is pride and ego part of your top 5? I'll just say this: I'm going to bed. HQ. So for the replay gang like me,
y'all just do research. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Do research.
I don't believe you.
Because you keep saying feminism. Stop saying feminism.
I didn't say nothing about feminism.
And look up why. You just Google, do a search. Why would women not be dependent on their black men? Why would that be a mindset? You ain't got to believe me. I'm just telling you these are factors. That's all I'm saying. These are factors as to why.
Okay.
I challenge your factors with different factors, but I respect your factors.
No, you didn't give me no different factor. The only thing you gave me was feminism.
No, that's not
the only thing you gave me.
I will give you. I will challenge all your factors. I don't think slavery had anything to do with it. I don't think anything.
No. You said you're gonna challenge him. That means you're gonna prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm just gonna.
You can't prove me wrong because it's history. I can't change history.
I'm gonna say history too. I'm gonna say
I can't change that.
You ever heard of
Good
the
night,
show?
everybody.
Good night,
Good
Stephen
night. I
James.
will catch you on the replay. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. HQ, keep cooking. I love it.
You can't change the history. You want to change something. You want to change something that can't be changed. Slavery. No, you just ask yourself honestly. And
so wait a minute. So on a separate show, I got a question. HQ on a separate show, separate topic. Can you have a show that says, okay, if this is true, why women don't trust black men in the house or whatever, can you do a show that says, what would it take for modern women to trust black men in the house? And then also, because you are pro-marriage, I'll give you that. Yeah. Also, a separate topic might be, what would have to happen for black men to be interested in getting married at a higher rate? That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I'm not expecting you to do it tomorrow or whatever.
Here's the thing. It's not a matter of whether men want to get married at a higher rate. You have to convince the women that they can depend on you, and then they got to come to the table. So it's not a matter of y'all coming to the table. It's a matter of the women coming to the table.
Okay, first things first. You can only do one show at one time. So that's why I put it in the order that I put it in.
Okay.
So, and I'll rock with you. I'll look forward to that show.
I'm just saying, we're supposed to be doing research. We're supposed to be doing research on Sunday. We got to have some research done. We can also do this research. I did my research, my stats today, so we can do even more research.
I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna be on here with ChatGPT ready to go. I'm just gonna let him answer everything.
What I did was I typed this in. Give me all the websites that will give me black stats and white stats and marriage stats and employment stats. It gave me all of those stats, and then I went to each one of those websites. Then I looked up X, Y, and Z. What was the marriage rate? The poverty rate for women is only 30%. I went through the whole thing. So that's how I did it. I went to ChatGPT and asked for all the things that got black statistics, and I went to all of those.
Thank you for your research, and I'm getting out of here. And panel, it's good to see you guys.
Damn it, that's the one I couldn't remember, John. The age gap.
I'll catch you on another time.
Okay.
And
thank you, Stephen.
And like HQ's chances of actually being reasonable and not windmilling, I'm gone.
Yo, wild. I'm not wild. I'm saying you don't have to. You ain't gotta believe me. You just gotta look this stuff up. That's all.
Okay. So HQ.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Age gap, marriage.
Yeah, okay. I like that topic. I can see myself having a nice age gap if I ever do get married. But you don't think
doing the age gap. We're doing the age gap thing then. We're doing the age gap marriage next after the stats.
You don't think that welfare had any type of implementation?
No, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it did. I'm just saying the bigger influence, because see, welfare, when the welfare only that stipulation that said black man couldn't be in the home was only in effect for I think 3 years or 4 years. How do you explain? How do you blame welfare after that third year? Because you can't. So if it's 3 years, it's only 3 years where that requirement where a man couldn't be in the home was 3 years, then you can't blame it on that welfare.
Section 8 too. So you saying after 3 years the man can come back in the house?
After 3, they only had that law into place, I think, for 3 years, and that's it.
What about Section 8? I'm sure that law was in effect.
Section 8 ain't Section 8 don't have nothing to do with no man. They don't have nothing to do with nothing.
What you saying? Women
because
did not know.
beans get Section 8. So Section 8 don't mean nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with man being in the house.
Who gets Section 8?
Beans. Oh, well, you don't. Oh, you don't know Bean. Beans is the one who told his son not to marry black women. I'm sorry, you don't know.
Oh, this nigga sound like the first. He would be the first man I've ever talked to that gets
He
Section
has
8.
Section 8. Yeah, men get
He the
Section.
only. I never. HQ. I live in. What for a long time was murder capital of the country. I've never met a man on Section 8. I met men who squatted, who kicked in abandoned doors and made it their house. Met men who slept in their car. I met men who sleep on the
No,
street.
Beans get Section 8.
I've
Beans,
never met a man in my life get Section 8 or welfare.
he's one of them.
He might be very special. He might be real special. But when I was growing up, women would say that outside of their mouth, like, "Oh yeah, you can't stay with me. You gonna fuck up my Section 8." Like, I would hear that just as a child, and I would go a step further. I lived in the projects, and there was a whole bunch of townhouses, right? So it was like 10, 20, 25, like 20, 25 townhouses on each like thing, probably like 15, 20. Out of all of those houses, 3 or 4 of them had a man in the house.
Yeah, with Section 8, Section 8 is not based on man or woman. Section 8 is only based on income. That's it. Yeah, if both of y'all don't make no money, both of y'all can live in Section 8. It has nothing to do with man or woman or whatever.
I've never, from life experience living in Section 8 communities, never heard of like a man moving in there.
Yeah, you got all kinds.
In the word, the myth, or whatever you want to call it, was if a man moves in while a woman already has Section 8 established, it would mess her Section 8 up.
No, they would have to use her both of their income. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's enough to say. Maybe that's where the incentive lie at, because I've helped women move, like cousins and shit. Like, yeah, this gonna be the area I hide all his stuff in case I get an inspection. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in my adult years, women would say a man can't move in, it's gonna mess up. But I guess it's the same with, like, women that got kids, they don't want the kids to get a job because it'll mess up their benefit
because it will count for the money.
But even still, the effect is the same then. So even though it wouldn't cancel, they didn't want to jeopardize whatever benefit that they was getting.
Yeah, but still, he still stayed there, didn't he?
Not for real, and it was used as leverage.
He wasn't on the lease, but he still stayed there, didn't he?
And he'd get kicked out at every get. So that kind of.
No, you talking about did Section 8 on public aid kick the men out of the house? It did not. They still stayed there. They just income just couldn't count.
So okay, so we talking about the 80s and the 90s. And you said that the marriage rate started dropping in the 2000s, right? So we just piecing together our timeline.
It was a big drop in 2000. 2000.
And you know what? I was 10 in 2000, and I can look around my memories and at the people, my aunties, neighbors, and shit. I can see that. Right? So in the 80s, let's say the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, women are getting welfare, Section 8, food stamps. I still remember it on colorful ass fake Monopoly money and shit, right? So the mindset. Let's talk about the mindset, that because things affect people's mindset, right? When you get certain shit, you might feel entitled. Some people might feel ungrateful. Some people might feel proud. Certain things that you get in your life make you change your shapes mindset, right?
Right.
So we're talking about poor people. We talk about poor people because most Black people started off poor. We had to had to work our way to having some wealth. And a lot of that, along that way, our cities were destroyed and bombed and all of that. So poor people who just trying to make $1. So we got people going to jail left and right for trying to sell drugs. You got people getting hooked on drugs. To paint the picture. And then you got, so let's say you got a 30-year-old woman with 2 kids that get welfare, food stamps, Section 8. Her dude, is 1988. Her dude got locked up in 1982 for selling crack, right? And then, we got to revisit that whole crack conversation we was having too. But we was having a good conversation. So dude come home, right? He come home. She was living with Big Mama before he went to jail, right? So he came home. She got a townhouse, 1.5 bathroom. All the kids got their own room. He come home from jail, and the dynamic has changed.
He can't be on the lease.
And the dynamic, not even on a tangible physical dynamic, the attitude, the mental mindset, the level of respect, the level of listening is in 1986, wherever we said this was happening, it's different than 76. It's different than 66 because there's different things at stake now. You know what I'm saying? So those arguments going differently, right? You know what I'm saying? Who got to wash the dishes? Who needs to take out the trash? Who get to be out all night? All of those arguments are being held differently, right? So them kids, let's say it's a girl and a boy in the house that's watching their parents argue now with a different dynamic. She kick them out. It's the 80s. Them kids go to have their own kids in the 90s. That right there, that whole dynamic is what will cause the friction and the distrust that we see today more than anything else. Was that strife in the household through the 80s, the 70s, and the 90s. That's what I'm saying. That's my POV. The arguments with the different dynamics and the different entitlements and the different leverage in the household.
I'm not saying certain things didn't have to do with the dynamic of us not being together as husband and wife and whatnot. I'm not saying that there certain things didn't have an impact. I'm saying at one point we weren't surprised. Women weren't surprised that men weren't in the home. They weren't surprised as we went along.
Okay. All right. So I think we agree on a lot of the atmosphere of it, right? But the when you get down to the core of it, you basically saying women was like, oh, I can't depend on him because for various reasons outside of either one of our control, he's not here for me to depend on him. So this trust is now being passed on generationally. I'm a beg to differ and say that it was an attitude thing.
We can't say that because we don't know.
But we actually see that attitude.
You mean to tell me you think that black women had attitudes in the 60s and the 70s when they can get punched in the face and the police wouldn't do nothing about it? And they could get raped by their husband, they didn't do anything about it? I don't think so.
Didn't say that. I think that the attitude was starting to develop through the 80s throughout all the other ingredients because it's not neither one of our fault. It's not the man fault or the woman fault why the black family was destroyed. That was like a CIA psyop. That was a purposeful thing, and it was mission complete, right? So it was things outside of either one of our control. But the attitude, and I'm gonna speak to attitude on the man side too. The attitude on the woman side that I think developed late 70s,
Well,
early
you got to
80s.
remember one thing that they did an extensive countrywide report on men. It's called the I forgot the name of the damn report, but there was a report, and they said the reason why men wouldn't conform to society here in America was because they had an antisocial attitude, so they couldn't conform to the to the United States social society. They did a countrywide set. It was the Monahan report. That's right, the Monahan report. It said
I'm
black men were hostile and they had antisocial behavior, and that contributed to the unsuccessful relationship between black men and women and society.
And so,
Monahan report.
okay.
That's what it's
For
called.
one, see, we got have this conversation. I didn't do a lot of shit in high school, but smoke weed and read history and biology. They're the only two things that I ever really cared about. But so we got to split that up. Yes, black men definitely didn't integrate peacefully or cooperatively into the white American society. And that birthed the whole 80s, 90s. That's why we have a thing called rap music. Rap music, the blues, and rock and roll are all products of our rebelliousness to the structure of America. That's why kids, when they start doing rock and roll or rap, or even back in we watched Sinners, the young boy was a rebel to his father, who was a pastor, because he wanted to do the blues. So we started these music genres because we was rebelling. So for one, the black man is the most malleable in America with living and figuring out how to make this shit work. But we didn't incorporate into a system that was locking us up, beating us, spraying us with water hoses, and enslaving us and working us to death and raping our women. Of course, we're not going to just say, okay, fuck it, and go work at the fucking bank. That's why it was the whole integration versus segregation. Everybody wasn't trying to be integrated into America. But the reason why it was so easy, that's why the crack epidemic was so easy for us to be a part of, because we were used to rebelling against American society. That's
So
why
I'm saying to you, there was significant things that contributed to why the black family started
broke
to
up.
disintegrate. And
Yeah.
it wasn't just feminism. Feminism may have been a small portion, but you have to look at that unemployment, the hostility.
I'm gonna bring it back to you.
Attitude. Okay.
I'm about to bring it right back to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So black men was rebellious because the system was against us, right? So we got that out the way, right? We hustlers, pimps, gangsters, we control whatever we can control without having to basically sell out. That's why there's a word called sell out, because it was the first nature to rebel against the country. So when you go get the job by the white man, you a sellout, brother. All the 70s and afros and all of that come from. You know what I'm saying? So that's you dead on with that part. Now on the other side of that coin, our women had our
but
back.
listen to this part. Listen to just this part.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
If men were underemployed and couldn't help support the family, that meant the black women who weren't hostile, who weren't looked upon as being able to whoop my ass. If a white man working in the office and got a black woman, the white man ain't worried about the black woman jumping him, right? So he's more than likely gonna hire her before he gonna hire that black man, right or wrong.
Yeah, but
right. Okay, so us women had to get out there and get jobs because our men were underemployed.
So if we talking about a spectrum of, because I'm looking at this whole conversation as 1950 through the 1990s, right? half of that time you couldn't even go work for the white man. You know what I'm saying? That
No,
wasn't
you
even.
all men, you men could
Hold
go
on.
work for the white people.
That
We could
that
work in their house. We could clean, we could wipe keep their kids. We could scrub
yeah,
their
but
floor.
we had Ford, GM, and Chrysler, and Pepsi, Coke. We was doing all of that for the whole time. We was getting paid like shit. We was the lowest of the totem pole,
Yeah, I
but
don't know about that.
we were
I've never
bringing
looked
home
up. I've
we
never
was
looked
bringing
up y'all
home
work
enough
ethic.
money for you to be able to go clean the
I don't
house.
know. I don't know. You
Uh,
got to look that up because I ain't
I
never
mean,
heard of y'all
that's a
working there.
part. That's a part of my history. I'm in Motor City. That's a part of my history. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
wait a minute.
any
Wait a minute. Detroit.
Black
Ain't
Chocolate City
that
for
where
a long time.
ain't that where they kicked all the black workers out and then hired somebody else even after they can't they like betrayed the black workers for something?
What you talking
Something
about, like
happened.
in the '60s or something?
I don't know. I know
A lot,
I vaguely heard something.
a lot of that, a whole lot of fucked up shit happened here, and that's why we became Chocolate
Right.
City, and then that's why we became the Murder Mitten. But all right, so let me get back to what I was saying. The Yes, everything you're saying is true. All that shit going on, y'all going to get cleaning jobs. We working at whatever plants, the nail plant, PepsiCo, whatever plant, warehouse, because we've been doing that
John,
type
what
of
key
manual.
points wait a minute, hold on. John seemed to think I got this shit from Google. How did I get this from Google, John? This is simple history.
We've
Anybody
been
can look
we
this shit up.
but black men have been working
Did
manual
you get
jobs with our
huh?
hands in this country since slavery ended. We've been the ones working
Let
with
me
our
look
hands
this
in
up.
this country since slavery ended.
Mine on
But the
hand.
attitude, the mindset
Report.
is what I ultimately think is what shifted it. You know what I'm saying? The black man coming home, I'm mad. The white man been on my ass all day. Once our woman stops saying, "Oh, babe, come here, let me rub your back," and
You gotta pull it. You gotta pull it out. It's not the woman's fault. Y'all keep making it about the woman,
I'm
and it
not
ain't got nothing to do
saying
with her.
I never said it was, but you played a part, and I'm just naming that
She played
part.
a part. She played a part in what?
The mindset shifting, and I don't need a man, and all of that.
But
I'm a product
that
of
was
that.
always there. That's what you don't
And
understand.
what
It has
it
always been
shifted,
there.
it
It's,
changed, it shifted, and it changed.
no,
It
it's
shifted
always been
from
there since slavery.
it was it
It's
went from
always
good
been there since
times.
slavery.
It shifted from the good times. It shifted from the Jeffersons. It shifted from that era of dynamic
And you know
between
why?
man and
You know
woman.
why there was in the good times. You know why Florida had a husband? She said she knew statistically that black men were not in the house, but she insisted on playing the role only if they put a husband in the house. So even then, they knew they wouldn't know men in the house. So it did not start when the feminism did not start it. It had already been started where women didn't depend on men to be in the house. She said that.
But
Esther Rolle, her
we,
name was Esther Rolle.
yeah,
Before
I
she
know.
got that role, she said, I ain't taking it unless I got a husband in the house.
It wouldn't even. It would. The movie wouldn't have made sense without. I mean, the movie, the show. I hated the good times, but anyway, I didn't even say that as an example, but I hated that
No,
show.
I'm saying you keep
But
saying the
I get what
feminism
you're
is
saying.
a bigger
But
role than it was.
but
Feminism wasn't a bigger role. Feminism just was one of the things that was in line that helped contribute and made women stay in that mind frame of being single and independent. It
so
wasn't the whole show. It
what?
wasn't the
All right.
factors, a starting factor. It wasn't the ending factor. It just happened to be one of the factors. And I'm
Where
saying
when
slavery,
when
all
do
of
you
this,
think
all of this.
when do you think that I don't need a man really came about?
It's been there since the beginning. It's been there since we got out of slavery. It's been there. It's
So
been there.
you think during Jim Crow and you think during
Even before that.
segregation,
Even before
you
that.
you think women was walking around saying they don't need a man?
No, they never walked around and said they didn't need a man.
But they have since the 90s though, for sure.
No, they
saying
have
that.
not walked around
They
and
were saying that in the 90s for sure.
Yes, saying that because it had already solidified itself in our society. It solidified ourselves in society way prior to that time. We as women, most of those women have been raised. Most of those women have been raised to believe that there would be some kind of thing that would stop a man from being in the house. That happened long time ago. Even I think my mother even said something about you're going to go to school, you're going to go to college because you can't depend on a man. My mother even said that. So it happened in the 50s, 60s. It happened a long time ago, even before you talk about feminism. You keep taking it to feminism, but that's not it. You have all these factors that factored in. Feminism is just a part. The female being independent, becoming independent, getting into the feminist movement, underemployment of the black man, no employment of the black man, being incarcerated, slavery, all of these things, male attitude, from the Monahan report. You read the Monahan report. The Monahan report will explain it too. It'll say that's the biggest factor.
So male attitude, but okay, so male attitude, but not woman attitude.
No, it was a report about the black families.
No, I'm asking you though. If
I only got that portion from. I only got that portion. It had other things.
If you had to guess, would you think that woman attitude had some type of effect on it, or no?
Had effect on what? I'm sorry.
Black families.
Had an effect on why the families are not together?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. But that was later on.
You think their attitudes are solely based on not being able to depend on black men?
Yes. Absolutely.
So
I believe that they were women. The women were like, people always got a bad habit of saying. They say white women went to college to get and get an education and get a husband. Black women just went to get an education so she could take care of herself. That happened. That was already baked into the cake. It's not a matter of women saying. It wasn't a matter of women saying out of the blue, we don't need men because we got jobs. No, we had already been. I keep saying we because I'm talking about black women. We as black women had already said we know we can't depend on. They may be mass incarcerated. They're gonna be underemployed, undereducated, X, Y, and Z. So we know we can't depend on them. So we don't even expect to be married. If we get married, that's a beautiful thing. If we don't get married, we don't care because we ain't used to them marrying us no way because they're not around.
I think more we watch Kevin Samuels, the more we gonna revisit this conversation too. But do you think that now in 2025, halfway to 2026, that black women can depend on black men to be married in the household and have healthy marriages? Do you think that they can?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm working towards. That's exactly what I'm working towards.
Since that mindset has evolved into what we see today, what do you think that black women have to actively change their mindset to be able to let their guard down enough to depend on black men? And yeah, I know you say trust and vulnerability, but what you just described was generational trauma of building a wall up against black men.
Yes.
So
because they know not the damage. It wasn't a matter of women just waking up one day and saying, I don't want to be with my man. This is generations of this is decades of we're not able to depend.
So what type of breaking down those walls are Black women gonna need to be under a man's covering? Because I think that the reaction to the word submissiveness, I think the reaction to the word of following a man's lead, I think the pushing of partnerships instead of just husband and wife, I think that those are all symptoms of this trauma that we just was talking about.
But see, here's the thing. We gotta make sure that we all on the same page as to what our factors are and agree that these are the factors, that this is what happened to us. Now we just have to put our fucking shields down and say we're going to actively respect each other. We're going to actively work to get back together. We're not going to say, okay, years ago, because you were a crackhead, I couldn't depend on you, or years ago you were a feminist and I couldn't depend on you to be a wife. We got to put those those knives and shit down. We have to realize all of these factors contributed to why we as a couple why women went to college and did not get a husband and just got a degree. There's many things and many reasons why that is. The bottom line is women couldn't trust we women couldn't trust our men to take care of us. That's it. That's all you need to know. That's it.
Do you think a lot of that plays into why we deal with so much masculinity and aggression from our women?
Yes.
Like the forehead. Okay, so if all of this stuff is trauma, do you think that a healed woman that's healed from all that generational trauma would have a problem still submitting and doing the things that men ask for and being modest and just kind of fitting that mold that Black men ask for? You think that healed completely from the generational trauma?
Look at this visual. What happens when a dog has trauma? What happens? What happens? Just visualize a dog, and you're trying to get near him, and you're trying to pet him. What is he doing?
One, you can't trust him, and
he's skittish. He's skittish.
He might bite you.
Yeah,
you
don't touch him.
You can't. Yeah.
And then after a while, when you keep coming, what do? They finally put their head down and accept that you're rubbing them, and then they wagging their tail. It's like the best ever, right?
Okay, I'm following.
So that's where women and men are. She ain't letting you near her. She's the female, us.
Okay.
She's not letting you near her because she doesn't trust you.
All right. So what if I put the dog to sleep?
What?
I'm just I'm joking with you.
But do you understand the picture of what I'm saying?
I followed you. Okay. I don't agree 100% with everything you said, but I understand and I do agree with a lot of what you said. And I think that the answer lies somewhere in a combination.
Yeah. So we got to try it. It's a trial and error thing.
Yeah. And I'm definitely with you with putting the guns down and just, loving on each other, because I'm an advocate for Black relationships and
so am I.
Rebuilding that Black family.
Yes.
And that's why I do pay attention so much to history, because I wanted to know what happened to us. I
want you to go. That's another thing you can research. That's another thing you do. I want you to go and actually think. Just looking the talking point. John was like, "Oh, okay, you got those talking points." I know I didn't get those talking points from AI. I heard women on TikTok talking. There were some women on TikTok talking. I did some videos about why women didn't get married, why this, what, that, and the other. You see them on my page. Why Black women didn't get? I was listening to TikToks, and the women were saying these all of these things over and over again. And then I started to research, and I was like, oh, okay, that do make sense as to why. And I asked the gentleman, I asked the older guy that was my age, I was like, why are we having such problems with the men and women? What's going on? And the first thing he said was slavery. That's where it started. And I was like, slavery? What do you mean, dude? I don't understand what you mean. And then he broke it down to me that because you couldn't protect the black woman when we were slaves, the black man couldn't protect the black woman. The white man could come in and take your kid. The white man could come in and take your wife. The white man could come in and take all of these things. So the black man never really got the appreciation of what it meant to have a solid family that wasn't snatched away from him. And the black woman could never depend on the black man to save her, to help her, to keep her safe.
I agree with everything you said. And I do think that all of black people's trauma stems from slavery. And I think that we have influenced other people around us with we a special case. We're a special group of people. Because but I was gonna say that I think that slave movies like white, I call it white porn propaganda, white slave master propaganda or white people porn. I think that has done way too much damage.
Uh-oh, you blanked out. You blanked out, Ty. You blanked out. Yeah. So, I mean, this is where, I get some of the conversations that I get. I have these conversations with people where they, we have a conversation. Well, why do you think? And then the Monahan report, you all can look that up. It's called the Monahan report. The Monahan report said black men, their hostile attitude, their hostile or antagonistic attitude was a barrier to why black women and black men relations weren't working, why the family wasn't working. So it was many factors, not just the feminist. It's not the feminist movement. Please stop blaming the feminist movement. It's not the feminist movement. It's other factors that went along the way, right? That went along the way that contributed to why we weren't together. Why us as a black family, we broke up. Slavery, underemployment, no employment, the feminist movement, the women's attitude, men's attitude, our independence. What else? Many incarceration, mass incarceration. All of these things contributed to why the black family did not get back together. And it wasn't necessarily feminist movement. Feminist movement is a small movement. It was a smaller movement, and it really didn't have anything too much to do with why we weren't together. It was more or less we got trained to be unfamilied. Let's put it that way. We got trained to be unfamilied. And it was neither one of our faults. And my whole thing is stop blaming each other. Stop blaming each other and look at where look at our history and say, okay, this was our history. This is what happened. So we got to move forward. And it's a lot of distrust out here. Okay. It's a lot of distrust, but you have to know that it's like, if you think of it as a skittish dog, women are skittish when it comes to getting married, being in a partnership and all that. Why? Because our trust is gone. We don't trust our partner. We had a long history of not being able to trust, not necessarily because of something you did, but because of circumstances that contributed to us not trusting each other. And I'm just saying it's a whole deeper conversation. We can have a deeper conversation, but we want to have families put back together. And Stephen, you just tied triple. Triple X went to sleep. All right, y'all. Let's get out of here. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm a night owl, so I'm gonna be up in the middle of the night. I always up in the middle of the night. I caught some bullshit last night over there on that Lapeef channel. Y'all check that out. That's okay. That's okay. We gonna pull our stats and our shit together. Let's get our shit together. I'll be on sometime tomorrow. Of course I will. I will. Of course I will. I will talk to you. Talk to y'all later. It was a great talk, a great build, Ty Pro. We're gonna do this again. You know we're gonna do this again. We doing the thing. So just listen to what I said. I mean, not listen to what I said, but research what I said. Monahan report. It's called the Monahan report. It was a report. I don't know. I can't remember distinctly, but I remember a couple of years ago about it. The Monahan report. Yeah, I just be up. I just be up out of there. And Triple just went to sleep on my ass. I know he went to sleep on my ass. He just did. He went to sleep on my ass. All right, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. For real, for real. I don't know what the hell we doing. Let's get up out of here. Out of here.